Started in 2004 and 5 as a part of that team, and then went on to Portland, Minnesota, Edmonton, Toronto, and Philadelphia. And he was a part of that David Brock move from Philadelphia that sent Kevin Buchanan in a third-round pick in 2013 entry draft to Philadelphia. So far, so good for Mike Hominick with 6 games played, 8 goals, 4 assists for 12 points. Mike, what is your perspective of this team?
Right now we are playing just a little bit inconsistent. It seems like we've been going through some hills and valleys so far this year at 5-4. We had a good chance last week to be a little bit more consistent and be at the top of the ranks with Toronto at 6-3, but we lost our focus for say a quarter, and we let one slip away. Right now we've been practicing very well the last couple weeks, and that's just our main focus right now, is just to keep our focus and be more consistent throughout each quarter and each game, and now for the rest of the year.
You played with the Bandits earlier in your career. You were in Toronto, you played in Philadelphia, and had an opportunity to be with other clubs. When you came back, give me an idea and give the listeners an idea of how you fit into this club this year.
That's a good question. I've been trying to find myself, being a journeyman, majority of my career, coming back here to the Buffalo Bandits, playing behind, or playing not behind, but with Williams and Tavares, some strong leaders on the left side. I just want to, fill a void any way I can, whether I got to get that extra loose ball, or get other guys on my side open. I'm just more of I like to think of it as a utility player that, does a lot of good things, not just for myself, but for my teammates as well. So if I can chip in here and there with a goal or two, then that's what I think I'm going to be best for. But like I said, it's all about the big picture, and just getting the W at the end of the day. So how that comes to be, I don't really care as long as we get the W.
What are your responsibilities with the club? Give us an idea of your style of play and the type of player that you are.
Well, funny thing is, I know playing for Darius, he wanted me, coming into the league, I was a one-dimensional offensive player where, I, just thinking about shooting and, offensive, my offense abilities. But, he kind of taught me how to play the Buffalo defense, and now, I'm comfortable playing a little bit of the defense and playing transition, but, now I think he feels a little bit more comfortable putting me in other spots. But growing up and going back to my roots, and what I'm back to now again is just playing off ball, or just playing. It's kind of like a. How should I put it? Like a ping pong kind of player, go out there, hit set picks, go to the net, get loose balls, kind of like a water bug, and just add an energy to the lineup. So yeah.
You've got a wicked shot. Give us an opinion of your shot and the style of shot that you have.
Oh, well, that's good. A lot of people didn't think I had a great outside shot, but it's a good overhand shot. From I like to do twisters as well. A twister is kind of like when you're kind of shooting for one corner, but then in the last second you just kind of turn your wrist over and then go to the opposite corner. So that's a tough shot that I've been working on for the last 10 since the beginning of my career, because these goalies are so good that you had to have more than one or two shots. But it's. I didn't think my shot was my best part of my game, but it's always a work in progress.
And it certainly helps in instances of the games that have been played so far this year with the Bandits. 9 games in, a tough game to lose a week ago, Friday night against Philadelphia in overtime. Picking up the pieces, what kind of practice did you have on Tuesday night in preparation for tonight's game with the Mammoth?
Well, the practice was a tough one. It was a 2-hour practice, and we went for the full 2 hours, where we just went back and just went. We had game simulation drills. Started off with 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and then 5-on-5s, power play, kind of man short. So, last weekend, I thought we played very well. There was just a couple little mental lapses that hurt us, and that's what we're trying to take it over. So all we're trying to do is just kind of work on the consistent part of the game. Thanks, guys. So we're just trying to just develop more consistency and maybe some endurance through our practices. For sure, definitely I was exhausted after that practice, just playing like it's a game. So
Tuesday night in the practice, did you go over certain situations that happened on Friday night? Now, you didn't play on Thursday night, but you played on Friday night in a game where you lost in overtime. You led for about 58 minutes, but Philadelphia, like a team like that, can strike at any time, and they did. Some unfortunate circumstances related with the game. Certainly you got to shrug off and just say, let's put this aside and let's focus in on tonight.
Yeah, well, I think that one of the things that we're going to be focusing on now, and what we talked about in practices and after the game was, on the offensive end, is we just got to be a little bit more patient. We have to cherish the ball a little bit more. I know in the fourth quarter and the start of the overtime, I think we started to get a little bit mentally tired, and then we just started, packing the ball, meaning we took the ball down, and within 5-10 seconds, we took the ball to the net without, working it around. So that we talked about that, and we focused on that in practice, getting the ball moving from east to west, working that defense for a good 20 to 25 seconds before we get a shot. But we can't make it easy on their defense with, one pass, go to the net, and hope for a goal, right? You just got to really, really work their defense, and then hopefully that's what we're going to be doing tonight.
Away from the game, give the listeners an idea what you do in a part of your job and some of the hobbies that you have.
All right. I do. I'm teach away from the game. I'm a teacher, a grade 8 teacher at St. Vincent de Paul School in Niagara Falls. Just a little short jog across the border, and this is my 5th year teaching. In terms of hobbies, it's
lacrosse.
Lacrosse,
Your profession.
Having 2 careers, absolutely. It seems like I don't have really much time for a hobby, but I do love spending time with my family and friends away from the game, and just enjoying life. But with playing lacrosse and and teaching, I'm either in the gym or in my office at home working and doing something to improve in my profession. But like I said, I love my family, friends, love spending time with them. I'm a big music buff. I love listening to music and going to concerts. So in the summertime, I like traveling and doing a little bit of concert activities. So yeah.
Back to the game tonight against the Colorado Mammoth, a team that is on a 5-game losing streak, but in a situation like this, as Richie Kilgore said, bit weak. An injured animal is the most dangerous animal, and they're a team that's loaded for bear, but certainly having some situations right at the moment they can't get a win.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't take in any teams in this league lightly because every team is so dangerous. So we're just going into tonight's game, bearing and grinning, and just making sure we take care of our game, and we have our work ethic, and we let the chips fall where they may. But we can't look at the other team and worry about how they're doing or what guys they have in and out of the lineup, because that can become a distraction. So I think that if we just worry about our own play and worry about our own systems, we're going to be just fine, because we are playing rather good lacrosse. It's just a couple bad bounces here and there that we got to eliminate. That I think at any time we have a chance to go on a 4 or 5 game run ourselves. So let's. don't like when people say, okay, we're playing against an injured squad, but you know what, every player in this league, is so good, and makes every team so good. So we can't really just focus on, don't worry about the other team, just worry about our own.
Mike Hominick, great thanks.
All right, thank you.
Good deal.
Very personable player, Mike Hominick, our Reebok player profile here in the pregame show. John Gertler, Randy Mearns with you this evening at First Niagara. Looks like, Randy, it's going to be to the house tonight. Great crowd filing through the respective portals here in preparation for the Bandits' home game against the Colorado Mammoth. This is actually a home-and-home series. Next week, the Bandits will be in Denver, Colorado, to meet the Mammoths, but business at hand right at the moment is that, Randy, as we had mentioned at the top of the pregame show, Bandits got to get a win here for their fans. They haven't had one since January 26th.
Well, they certainly do, and what fans the Buffalo Bandits have. I mean, they keep on coming back. Like you're saying, Johnny, we got the 300 level. She's getting pretty full up right now. Obviously, the 100s and the 200s, they're already stacked up. They do need to give these fans, but it's been phenomenal lacrosse. Great entertainment. It's not like they've been not in any games. I mean, you got guys, unfortunately, tonight, they're not going to be able to see John Tavares perform. He last week, kind of interesting, on the second of the back-to-back was like, well, do we hold him out so we get him for another week? Yeah. They decide to play him. Well, maybe 2 games in a row, not so good for Tavares and the Buffalo Bandits. But, interesting as well is to see how the Colorado Mammoth, reacts. And what do they have left in the tank? Hey, playing a tough Toronto team at the ACC with a loss, 14-10. I'm sure they got to sleep, got into Buffalo, maybe a little bit of a runaround and a nap. But you know what? Buffalo's fresh. Colorado, this is 2 games in 2 nights.
The game is next, this time out on Bandits Lacrosse.
On defense, number 3, Philly. Transition, number 7, offside transition, number 9, Mark Statehouse. At forward, number 10, Aaron Wilson. In transition, number 13, David Brock. Number 15, Luke Sigley Lyons. On defense, number 18, Glenn Bryan. At forward, number 19, Chad Long. At forward, number 37, Nick Welcome. In transition, number 75, Jamie Firebird. At forward, number 89, Carter. Number 90, Jamie Rooney. At transition.
Good evening, lacrosse fans in Western New York and down the line on the Lacrosse Network. John Gertler, Randy Mearns with you this evening from the Ted Darling Memorial Press Box. Full house tonight with the Buffalo Bandits fans filing in the respective portals and getting ready for this evening's game. Spotlight introductions going on right now for the Buffalo Bandits, and the Mammoth wait in the wings. My broadcast partner, Randy Mearns, head coach of Canisius College and also head coach of Team Canada for 2014, and former NLL great. Randy, scratches for tonight.
Yeah, scratches for tonight for the Colorado Mammoth. Interesting ones. Again, we already referred to Dan Coates, one of the stalwarts on the D end. But Captain Gavin Prout will not be in the lineup for the Colorado Mammoth, as well as Jaden Gastaldo, a transition player for the Mammoth. For the Buffalo Bandits, John Tavares, as we just mentioned, will not be in the lineup. Mike McNamara for the 2nd time in 2 games. And unfortunately, Mike Hominick, our player profile,
that's too bad.
Will unfortunately not be in the lineup tonight. And I think that's due to getting Jamie Rooney back into the lineup and also bringing in Cotter to replace Johnny Tavares.
Nick Cotter comes into this evening's game with 7 points. Jamie Rooney on the injured reserve list at the beginning of the season, then went to the PUP list. He's a 5th-year pro, came from Toronto. Overall in his career, he's got 124 points as the Colorado Mammoth step out on the turf to prepare for the singing of the national anthems. Very quickly, Randy, what do you think Rooney brings to the floor?
Well, I think he's a very, very smart player. He can put the ball in the net. He moves, he's shifty, he's quick. And I think it adds a pretty decent amount of depth. I think they've been waiting for him to, recover from some injuries, get healthy to get him back in the lineup. And as Darius Kilgore says, as they kind of fine-tune this roster, they want to go a little bit younger. And Jamie Rooney's part of that.
Let's go down to the floor for the singing of the Canadian and U.S. national anthems.
Give land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Kevin Kennedy here at First Niagara Center as the Buffalo Bandits prepare to meet the Colorado Mammoth. John Gertler, Randy Mearns with you this evening, ready for the play-by-play of this evening's game. To our broadcast left will be Anthony Cosmo, .756 save percentage, a 4-3 record, 44 saves last week. He also, Randy, has 4 assists. And circling down to the net to the broadcast right side for the Colorado Mammoth.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It looks as though the starter, when we're looking, is going to be Ty Belanger, number 31 of the Colorado Mammoth. Again, he was activated to the roster in February. He's only played 32 minutes. Last night he had 15 saves, Johnny.
So Belanger goes between the pipes, .714 save percentage. And the Bandits will be moving right to left here in this first quarter. They're wearing their home black with gray pants and striped with orange. The Colorado Mammoth coming in with the white jerseys. I would say burgundy pants, the red helmets, and we're ready to go. Face-off expertise going over to Jay Thornburg. He's currently 3rd overall in face-off success at 60.5.5, right behind Jeff and Bob Snyder. Ilya Geist doing the draw chores. He was 54% last night in Toronto, and we're underway. And Geist wins the draw, leaves it back to the near side, and Colorado's got the ball. Getting it back into their zone, setting up the play from inside the zone, and now it's picked up over the line to Jared Park, who comes right to the Buffalo line to the near side. Great to have you with us tonight on the radio and on the Lacrosse Network. The Colorado Mammoth coming into this evening's game on a 5-game losing streak, but watch them play right now with Jones working ball to the near side over to Matt McLeod with a shot straight on and a good save by Anthony Cosmo, and here come the Bandits.
Yeah, Buffalo's into their traditional house defense. The ball goes side to side. Pollock takes about a 25-footer. Cosmo sees it all the way.
Sean Williams with the ball for Buffalo. Back out to center, leaving it back over to Luke Wiles. Now back over to Williams. Into traffic as it goes. The loose ball squirts right in front of Belanger, and he's got it. And we'll dish it off to the defense, and here comes Colorado back out to midfield. No score here in this first quarter of play. Ball carried by Chet Konechny. He'll leave it off to the forwards, and it'll be picked up by Colorado, setting up the play from the far side. It's John Grant Jr. in over the line. Now to the near side is the play set up over to Matt McLeod. Here is a drive straight on, and Cosmo with the save. Rebound along the end boards picked up by Colorado, and the shot clock is reset. No score here in the first quarter. Colorado with the ball from the top of the slot. Working it now to the far side. Out to the right wing side, and now to the near boards. Back over in front as the ball goes to the boards. Looking for it is Grant, trying to feed it out in front, can't do it. 9 to shoot for Colorado. Long drive and a good save by Cosmo. And a desperation shot.
Yeah, I think that was a desperation shot by number 13, Matty McLeod. Second shot of the evening. Shot clock was getting low, but he just kind of threw a bomb. Cosmo sees it all the way. Great defensive stand by the Bandits.
Chad Cope with the ball from the top of the slot into the Colorado zone. Illegal positioning for the Bandits.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of one of these things where they bring it to the chest. It's kind of withholding the ball. But Buffalo, no real offensive presence the first 2 times down the floor.
Colorado back down into the Buffalo zone. No score here in the first quarter of play. John Grant Jr. from the far board scoots out now to the top of the slot as it goes. Shot wide. Rebound. Jumps from the end boards all the way back out to mid-turf and an over and back charge on the Mammoth. So here comes Buffalo. See if they can get a shot on the young goaltender Ty Belanger. 15 saves last night in relief duty. The other goaltender, Dan Lewis. Near side is Sean Williams scooting out into the slot area. Far side passes. It goes over to Dane Smith. Points in every game. Luke Wiles now over to Carter Bender. Here's Bender, the big rookie. There's a shot that goes wide. Rebound is picked off by Rory Smith for Colorado. And here come the Mammoth, coached by former Bandit Bob Hamley. And the front door opens up for Colorado, and they're changing up on the fly. Good pressure on Jared Park by a trio of Bandit defenders, and Jimmy Purvis comes up with the ball. This is first quarter action, no score with the Bandits and Mammoth tonight in Buffalo. Great crowd on hand as the Bandits stage the attack down into the Mammoth zone. Chad Cope near side over to Cotter. Cotter rushing in on Belanger, and Belanger comes up with a nice save. Rebound. Far boards, good checking. And that's a good pressure on it. There's Jamie Rooney, he scores.
Rooney making his presence felt early. Bob Hamley's got his hands. He's thinking that Rooney actually boarded one of the Colorado Mammoth defenders. Needless to say, the Bandits pick up the GB. Rooney just comes straight across. Pretty close to the line. He goes airborne and goes to the far side of Ty Belanger. Great goal. And Rooney making his presence felt early.
First is a Buffalo Bandit. First for 2013 season for Jamie Rooney. A fifth year pro. Played in Toronto last year. Had 65 goals, 59 assists in his career. 124 points, make it 125 now, Randy, as Jamie Rooney gives the Bandits a 1-0 lead. But here come the Mammoth in over the line. Now to the left wing side. Top of the slot shot saved by Cosmo. Outlet pass over to an open Jimmy Purvis, who will bring Buffalo out to midfield. 1-0 Bandits. It's Jamie Rooney scoring the goal. Jimmy Purvis has the ball. Far side pass over to Luke Wiles. Now to the near side over to Carter Bender. Bender getting some action tonight for Buffalo on a regular shift. Works the ball to the far side. Now back over to Purvis. He dekes with it. There's a low drive with Wiles with 5 seconds to shoot on the clock, and they'll let it go down into the zone area where Colorado brings it out to midfield. 1-0 Buffalo. Jamie Rooney, the goal scorer for the Bandits. Colorado immediately down to the far corner as the ball comes back out to the outside. Picked up now by Sean Pollock. There's a shot that's blocked into traffic. Rebound. Far side pass over to Jones. It's tipped now to Sean Pollock, who's at the left point. Far side. Looking, shot on, saved by Cosmo. And the veteran netminder makes the outlet pass down the right wing side where Glenn Bryan will bring the Bandits to midfield. Jamie Rooney scoring for the Bandits, 1-0 here in Buffalo. Cotter with the ball, far side over to Aaron Wilson. Deking now is Dane Smith with a shot, high, wide. Rebound, scoots out to midfield, and it'll be picked up by Colorado. Ilya Gaich with the ball. In over the line comes Ilya. He'll take the shot on. Got a glaze with Anthony Cosmo, and it will be Colorado's ball when we come back. This is a timeout from the building in Buffalo, First Niagara, where the Bandits have a 1-0 lead. This is Bandits Lacrosse.
Your answer to NLL Bandits with a hashtag Bandits Trivia for your chance to win Buffalo Bandits prize pack. And Clinton Auto Wrecking is a proud sponsor of the Buffalo Bandits, your best choice for used auto parts. For more information, visit ClintonAutoWrecking.com. Clinton Auto Wrecking, if we don't have it, we can't get it, and we really don't need it. All right, band, time now for the McDonald's Happy Wheel. Keep your eye on the ribbon boards to see if your section wins a coupon for a Big Mac at any participating McDonald's and not a section wins, so make some noise if you want a free Big Mac. There it is, so that's not a section, it's section 100. Congratulations, section 100. McDonald's, I love it.
Bender and Nick Carter. 1-0 Buffalo here in the first quarter of play. When we resume down on the turf, Colorado has the ball down into the Buffalo zone. Near side passes Jordan McBride. Far side as it goes. Now back to McBride. Play set up to the far side. That's John Grant working the ball. He'll work it into the traffic area. Good defense pressuring Buffalo into the play to the outside. Ball down into the near corner is picked up by Colorado's. Centering pass. That play is set up for McBride, but he's checked into the crease area, and Buffalo breaks back out to midfield. 1-0 Buffalo. Jamie Rooney into the lineup for the first time in the 2013 season for the Bandits. In over the line comes Steve Priolo. Here's Priolo with a drive that's blocked into traffic, and the rebound is picked up immediately by Colorado. It's a mad dash in over the line for the Mammoth. There's a shot on and a score. Good break for the Colorado Mammoth. And it goes to Joe Capito.
Yeah, Joey Capito, he's one of the fastest guys in the National Lacrosse League, John. He picks up that GB off of the, tough offensive session by Steven Priolo. He just beats the Bandits down the field, and he flies. He's got a step. He gives a little head fake high, and he goes down. But now there's the yellow flag, and you kind of see the replay. You got 20 seconds, and it looks as though one of the coaching staff for the Buffalo Bandits threw the yellow flag. This one's going to get reviewed. Did he get a little too close to the line, John? Can I go 9 for 9?
Well, you better take a look at it now as the monitor pops up here in the press level. And we'll take a look at things as tonight's officials will go to the off-field officials to take a look at it to see if Joe Capito had his foot in the crease before the ball crossed the goal line.
Yeah, you know what? I think that as Joey Capito's coming down, he gets a great step on his guy. He beats the Buffalo defense back down the field, and he kind of has a stick high, and he goes in between Cosmo's legs. But we're looking at the right foot. Does it make contact as the shot goes? And I think he's touching the ground before that ball's in the net. I think this is going to be a no goal. I think the Buffalo Bandit fans are going to be very, very happy.
So the 5th round choice for Colorado, Joe Capito, also with 15 forced turnovers. Integral player for the Colorado Mammoth, and his goal is being the subject of the matter from the timeout here with 9:01 remaining in the first quarter of play. Buffalo leading it 1-0. It's Jamie Rooney. And right now the officials are taking a look at the goal scored by Joey Capito, whether or not he had his foot in the crease before the ball crossed the goal line.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of, it's great. There's about 3 or 4 different angles here at the First Niagara Center that you get. I especially like the one from behind as you see Capito as he's going down the field in on Cosmo. And you see that foot touch, that right foot touch, as the bounce shot goes between Cosmo's legs. I don't believe it's over the goal line as he touches. And again, I think this is going to be a no goal. But I guess the question would be, is it incontrovertible evidence that, wow, was it in, was it not? To me, it looks pretty clear. Hopefully I'm 9 for 9, Johnny.
Still checking down at the off-field officials location at First Niagara. Great crowd on hand, everybody dressed in orange, throwing their Buffalo colors. This is the start of a home-and-home series. Next week, Buffalo will be in Denver, Colorado to meet the Mammoth.
And I think if Scotty Fleetwood's back at home, healthy and safe, I think if he's watching the game, I'm sure that he is, he would agree with me.
Now, Scotty told us on the inside scoop that the network that's being provided on the coverage, you do get the replays, and let's check right now. It's waved off. No goal. That's 9 for 9?
9 for 9. It's not like me and the Tim Hortons, though. I'm like 4 for 20 in the roll up the rim thing. What's up with that? I was 4 for 7. I go back, 13 more, 0 for 13.
So the youngster Joey Capita with a full head of steam right in on goaltender Anthony Cosmo inside the crease, and the goal has been waved off. 1-0 Buffalo. We're back to action with Buffalo bringing the ball out of their own zone. Right wing pass over to Nick Cotter. Near side over to Sean Williams. Here's Williams now. Far side pass picked over to Matt Giles. He'll work the ball. Wiles, that is. There's a shot. Score!
But I think that they're waving this goal off. And I'm not too sure why. Buffalo still had possession of the ball. They're kind of wondering. The Buffalo bench is kind of wondering. Phil, the Colorado Mammoth are going to go to the box for a holding penalty. We'll check the number on that. But before the ball goes in, the referee did blow the whistle. I heard it. So it's not going to be a goal. Buffalo's going to have their first power play of the game.
45% power play efficiency. Went 5 for 8 last Friday night against Philadelphia. Sean Williams will work the top of the slot. Carter Bender also on the power play on this rush. Aaron Wilson back behind the net, scrambling for the ball. Trio of Bandits are there. John Sullivan in the box for Colorado. Chad Culp with a shot, setting it up. Over to Aaron Wilson. Now back to Culp with a shot to the right side of the Colorado net. But the 30-second shot clock expires, so Luke Wiles couldn't get a shot away. 1-0 Buffalo. And the Bandits on the power play. 23 for 51 coming into this evening's game. Colorado's penalty kill, 43%. Toronto last night went 5 for 7. Here's Colorado shorthanded, working the ball well outside the line, taking a look at not only the shot clock, but taking time off the penalty to John Sullivan. It's 1-0 Buffalo. There's a drive that goes wide by Jordan McBride. Ball bounces out, picked back up by Colorado. Long shot as Cosmo makes the save, and the rebound picked up by Buffalo, and here they come back out to midfield. Jay Thornburg leads the ball out to the forwards, coming from the front door. Running out now is Sean Williams. He's joined by Chad Culp. Far side is Luke Wiles. Williams and Wiles set up the play from the slider. There's a shot right by Culp and a save by Belanger.
Yeah, that was right on the doorstep. Belanger throwing out the big left toe on Culp right in the middle, about 3 feet from the net.
27 seconds left in the penalty to John Sullivan. Ball down into the Buffalo zone, picked up by Johnny Harrison, and will work it over to Brad Self. 1-0 Buffalo. 15 seconds left in Buffalo's power play. Chad Culp in over the line from the right wing side. Out again is Sean Williams. He's joined now from the top of the slot by Dane Smith. Smith with the ball. Back over to Williams, stationing it down into the near side. Works it now back over to Smith from the top of the slot. 5 to shoot. There's Smith with a shot. He scores!
A great shot by the youngster. Colorado comes even. Sullivan into the play. Smith just kind of gives a little hedge fake. Looks like they're going to try to set up more of a 5-on-5 offense with 10 seconds left. And he just gets up and over his guy and shoots through the screen, a low to low. A great look off to Williams. And then he pockets a second goal for the Buffalo Bandits. Great goal.
Here come the Bandits again down in the Colorado zone, leading it 2-0. Dane Smith, his 14th goal of the year. came into this evening's game 4-4 in the last 3 games. Points in every game for the young rookie Dane Smith, giving Buffalo the 2-0 lead. Knocking on the door is Buffalo. Shot wide by Wilson. Rebound captured by Culp. 4 to shoot. Bouncing ball comes in front for Belanger, and he'll long pull it down the left wing side. Here comes Colorado changing on the fly. Ball left out by Cameron Holding, and it'll be set up for the forwards. Now to the near side is Jordan McBride. McBride from the slot area, looking, long shot saved by Cosmo. Rebound picked up by Jimmy Purvis, and here come the Bandits. Ball is intercepted right at the Buffalo or the Colorado line. McBride is there. He's all over the field. Slipped back over to Matt McLeod. McLeod now reverses position, and into the Buffalo zone he goes. Far side pass. Now it's tipped back over to the slot area. Kick to the far side, dash in by Colorado, shot straight on, and that one's off the stick of Adam Jones, and he is denied by Anthony Cosmo.
Yeah, and that's a great move by Jones. He's got Billy D. Smith on him. He kind of gives a little hedge fake, a spin underneath, gets a great shot, but unfortunately runs through the crease. Buffalo ball.
This is first quarter action where the Bandits have a 2-0 lead over Colorado. Nick Carter with the ball, working it out to the near side. Scoots back now to the right point, far side pass, but it's picked off by Colorado, and they've got a break. Carter doing a good job of checking right out at midfield, taking one of the Colorado players off the ball, but it's picked off by Colorado. And big Richard Morgan with his 6'8" frame takes the shot. He scored last night, saved by Cosmo. And the rebound picked up by the Bandits, but with 4:48 left to play here in the first quarter, this is a timeout from First Niagara. Buffalo 2, Colorado 0. Tonight on Bandits Lacrosse.
Bandit Games present any Coca-Cola product at the First Niagara Center Parks office. Receive $10 off the ticket. Any Buffalo Bandits regular season home game in Puerto Rico. If Buffalo Bandits score 12 or more goals tonight, your ticket stubs will be for 50% off your entree of our Mammoth restaurants. Eat at Mammoth. Bandit man, Max is up in section. Yeah, 308, 309. He's up in the 300s tonight. With his t-shirt cannon, it is locked and loaded. He's looking for tonight's loudest band. So up and down, you see it's loud and proud Bandit man with a free team from our friends at Twin Village Recycling. The Bandits at Twin Village Recycling remind you to recycle by using the blue container position to rid out personal items. That's ain't done. Keep it going, Bandit man. Loud and proud for those teams in Twin Village.
Bandits at 8:20. It's Dane Smith scoring his 14th of the season. Sean Williams getting the assist. Bandits scoring 2 goals on 4 shots. Colorado with 10 shots as we speak before we resume down on the turf.
Yeah,
Randy, here is a personal note. Make sure that you turn your clock ahead tonight before you go to bed.
Oh, totally forgot about that.
Spring starts tomorrow.
It does.
They say daylight savings time.
Oh, beautiful day today. But the Colorado Mammoth, on that note, 10 shots. They're going to get a lot more. They're on the power play. Buffalo getting called for too many men. Jimmy Purvis serving the penalty.
John Grant will work the power play from the top of the slot. He's got 10 power play goals. Works it down to the far corner. Good passing by Colorado. Here's Grant with a shot that goes to the right side. And that one had so much heat on it. It goes from the end boards all the way down to the Colorado line. So an over and back charge, and the ball would be picked up by Buffalo shorthanded. Colorado's power play coming into this evening's game at 49%, 27 for 55. They went 2 for 2 in Rochester, against Rochester last week at home, but 0 for 4 last night against Toronto. And Buffalo shorthanded will play the ball outside the line. Now Nick Carter inside the Colorado zone to the near side, deking his way in close to Belanger. Looking to get a shot with 5 to shoot. There's a low one that trickles to the right side of the net. It's picked up by Carter that tried to get it over the crossbar just with a second left, and Belanger is there to outlet the pass down the left wing side. 55 seconds left in the penalty to Buffalo. 2-0 Bandits tonight here from First Niagara Center. And setting up the power play from the top of the slot is John Grant. Grant will work it now to the near side of McBride. Back over to Grant, faking it over the shoulder feed into traffic, but picked up by Colorado, and it's Sean Pollock with it, forced into the near corner. Back to Grant from the top of the slot. 34 seconds left in the power play. Buffalo's got the ball. The rebound is picked up by Jordan McBride, but he is hammered down to the turf with a crushing check, and Buffalo's got the ball. Shorthanded is Mark Stainhouse just outside the Colorado line. He gets hampered by Rory Smith. Stainhouse hanging on to the ball. Now we'll work back outside the Colorado line with 15 seconds left in the Buffalo's penalty. Bandits lead it 2-0. Plenty of time to shoot. 8 remaining on the shot clock. Far side is Cotter. He plays it off the near boards, dekes his way closer to the Colorado line, loses his footing, and will throw it into the near corner. And Buffalo is back to full strength. So no shots on that power play by Colorado. Buffalo leads it 2-0. Twirling in. Colorado from the slot area. Shot set up and it goes wide. Rebound is picked up by Colorado. The ball is intercepted. It's Jimmy Purvis with a breakaway. Here's Purvis one-on-one with Belanger. He scores!
And the Bandit fans erupted. Matty McLeod could not catch Purvis. He's on a dead sprint. He's got 3 yards. Got all time to think. He's got all time to figure out what he's going to do. He kind of gives a little high fake and just comes to the short side, high to low. Belanger doesn't even move. He's got a high arc. And Purvis just buries through. A guy that's more of a defense transition guy. Good to see Purvis get on the scoreboard for the Bandits.
Second of the season for Jimmy Purvis. 3-0 Buffalo here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Colorado working it back down into the Buffalo zone. John Grant feed pass over to Pollock with a low drive that goes wide. Rebound is picked off by Colorado. 9 to shoot. They've got it as Pollock goes to the far side. Play is set up from the corner. Back intended for Jordan McBride, but he's hampered on it. Couldn't get a shot away, and the 30-second shot clock expires anyway on Colorado. So here comes Buffalo with 1:50 left to play here in the first quarter and leading it 3-0. Carrying the ball to the line is Jay Thornburg. Work is to Sean Williams. Back to Thornburg. Part of the play. Now to the far side over to Aaron Wilson. Here's Wilson with the ball. Looks like Rooney went inside the line area of Belanger.
Yeah, well, no, that was actually more of an illegal pick on Rooney. Came in and said a hard pick. Referee thought it was a little too hard, pushing his defender out. They had a quick 2-on-1. The referee saying, no, you can't do that. Colorado ball.
McLeod with the ball. Tips it back over to Jordan McBride. McBride, far side pass. There's a running shot. Good save by Cosmo. John Grant Jr. is denied, and here comes Buffalo in over the line. Like Glenn Bryan, now to Carter Bender. The young rookie with the ball from the right wing side. Goes back over to Luke Wiles, far side over to Dane Smith. Smith digging, trying to feed Wiles, hangs onto the ball, takes the shot to the right side of Belanger. Rebound is picked off by Colorado, and it's Cameron Holding who brings the Mammoth right to the Buffalo line. 3-0 Buffalo here, under a minute to play into this first quarter. Sean Pollock with a long drive, saved by Cosmo. Rebound jumps out in front. Ball picked off by Scott Self and will run down the right wing lane. Self in over the line. Self now over to Stainhouse. Works the ball outside the Colorado line, flushed all the way over to the left point, runs along the far boards, and curls back out. Here's Stainhouse now. Far side pass over to Chad Culp. Culp now with 19 seconds left to play into this first quarter. Feed pass out in front, intercepted by Colorado, and they break back out, turning on the speed. Through center and in over the line comes Colorado, led by Chet Kuznetsny. Oh, saved by Cosmo.
Huge save, and Chad Culp didn't really think. Chad Culp was getting back in the play, thought it was like a 2-on-2. Defender coming out the end door, but he left the backside Colorado Mammoth player, Matty McLeod. Matty McLeod had a good opportunity. Cosmo came up big.
3-0 Buffalo at the end of one tonight on Bandits Lacrosse.
Folks, here come your Bandits. tune into Buffalo Bandits next home game. Free and easy, look to be better.
3-goal first quarter for the Buffalo Bandits, and they lead it 3-0 going into quarter number 2. Jamie Rooney, Dane Smith, and Jimmy Purvis, the goal scorers tonight in the first quarter. Mammoth outshoot the Bandits 13-5, and both teams have had a chance to work on their power play, but they stand 0 for 1, and we're ready to go with quarter number 2. In front of a great crowd tonight here at First Niagara in downtown Buffalo. The Bandits were denied their shoot-around because Rihanna opening up her Diamond World Tour last night.
And
They practiced here for 7 days. It took 6 hours for the set to come down and to be packed up into 12 semis. And consequently, you know, it takes 4 hours to build the turf here, First Niagara, so the Bandits could not, and the Mammoth could not have a shoot-around.
Yeah, not a lot of time for a shoot-around. I'll say this, though. Let's talk about quality of shots. Colorado outshoots the Buffalo Bandits 13-5, but everything was from way out. Anthony Cosmo could see everything, even rush shots for the Mammoth. Buffalo only 5 shots, 3 goals, but the shots that they took were all very good quality shots.
Colorado with the ball down into the Buffalo zone. Saved by Anthony Cosmo. Rebound is picked up by John Grant. He'll scoot out from the near side, take the shot. Cosmo with the save. Rebound picked up by Colorado again. Shot clock is reset with the flurry here in the opening minutes of this second frame. Colorado labeling shots onto Anthony Cosmo. 1, 2, 3. Here comes another one from behind the net. Play is set up by Sean Pollock. He goes into the far corner. Colorado storms in, and a shot and another save by Cosmo. Rebound, Colorado. Ball picked up by Jordan McBride. Back to the outside as Colorado changes up on the fly after the shot clock is reset. They'll try with some new players. Jones now from the near side. Over to John Grant. Here's Grant sneaking away, taking the shot, goes to the right side. Rebound, Colorado. With the ball from behind the net, a diving shot intended over the shoulder. That attempt by Jones denied, and the net goes back up on to the moorings from the goal line. Cosmo comes up with another save, and the rebound finally to Buffalo's side. Randy, are they going to be able to get out of their zone?
Yeah, I think they will. But Cosmo making 4 consecutive saves, and Colorado getting all the loose balls. They had second, third, fourth, fifth opportunities, but then they take an inadvertent penalty, and here goes Cosmo to the bench.
Sixth attacker is out on the turf for Buffalo. They lead it 3-0 here in the second quarter of play. Ball now for Luke Wiles. Back to the far side over to Sean Williams. Into traffic there, and Wilson with a shot, and Belanger comes up with a save. And the ball captured by Czech Czesny. And we'll have a penalty coming up against Colorado.
I think it's going to go against Adam Jones. He's going to serve 2 for a slash. I think just the frustration. You got all these offensive chances. You're shooting, you're getting rebounds, you're shooting, but nothing's really of substance. And I think the frustration just, kind of kicking in as Buffalo finally got a loose ball, and Adam Jones is going to go for a slash as the ball was already going up the field. Tough penalty for the Mammoth.
If you joined us, John Tavares is not playing this evening, so Williams will work the power play from the top of the slot. He's actually over at the left point now to Wilson with a shot that goes wide. Rebound jumps out and into the Buffalo bench, and it will be Colorado's ball. 3-0 Buffalo. Jamie Rooney playing in his first game as a Buffalo Bandit, scoring his number 1. Dane Smith with his 14th, and Jimmy Purvis with his 2nd. Shots on goal, 16-10. Colorado, they've got it. John Grant goes to the far side. In over the line is Sean Pollock. Pollock now working the ball shorthanded from the far corner. Scoots outside the line. In pursuit is Derek Suttons. Suttons lets the ball go back over to Grant with a shot with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. The ball is picked up by Buffalo. John Harrison will bring it out for the Bandits. 1 minute left in the penalty to Adam Jones. Shift change into effect for Buffalo. With that man advantage, Luke Wiles stationing over at the left point. Top of the slot is Williams. Back over to Wiles. Wiles to Williams. Over the shoulder feed. Shot by Coltwide. Rebound is picked up by Rory Smith, and he dashes out of his own zone and leaves it on the turf to midfield, where it'll be captured by Joe Capito.
Yeah, Buffalo got lucky there, though. Capito was already off and running. Just a Mammoth defender that got the loose ball, didn't see him in the flight, he had about a 20-foot head start on the Buffalo Bandits.
Jamie Lincoln with the ball from behind the net, feeding it back over to the left point, looking for an open lane. Here's Lincoln again with a shot. That's blocked into traffic. Rebound picked up by the Bandits. Good crushing check by Colorado, keeping the pressure on. And David Brock has got to get it out of his zone within the 8-second rule. And the ball is right down into the Mammoth zone. Crushing check onto Luke Wiles, and he's slow in getting up to the right side of the Colorado net.
And that's from big Richard Morgan, 6'8". He came flying cross crease. Luke Wiles paying the price to get a shot on Ty Belanger.
Richard Morgan, part of the Morgan family. Brothers David at one time playing was 6'10".
And as the play was transitioning for the Buffalo Bandits, they're 5-on-4 right now. Still 4 seconds left in Jones's penalty, but another slashing penalty that's going to go this time to Colton Clark, number 10, a forward for the Colorado Mammoth.
So the Bandits continue with the man advantage as Jones comes out on the turf and joins the penalty-killing team. Top of the slot now is Dane Smith. Near side is Rooney. Far side is the play set up over to Sean Williams. Feeding it in over to the near side to Wilson. Now to Dane Smith. There's a try by Williams, but it's blocked into Colorado traffic, and it's cleared back out to mid-turf. Double team on the play. Jones loses it.
Oh, the
play
Wiley
will be called.
Yeah, the Wiley youngster kind of hedged up, and he knew the double team was coming. You know, and I don't think there was really any inadvertent or huge attempt to cross-check from behind. But all of a sudden, he just hits the brakes, and Jamie Rooney gets up on his back. He does the old fall. Jamie Rooney goes serve 2 for cross-check from behind.
4-on-4 lacrosse here in the second quarter of play. Bandits lead it 3-0. Colorado came out in a flurry of the opening minutes here of the second quarter. Ball down into the Buffalo zone to the near side. Joel Dargarno with it now. John Grant has got it from the right point, looking for the lane, goes over to the far side as it's powering over by Jordan McBride. He's forced into the far corner. Here's McBride with 2 seconds to shoot. And the rebound is picked up by Buffalo. Steve Priolo will bring the Bandits out of the zone and down the left wing lane. The big 6'5" defenseman for Buffalo. Priolo double teamed on the play, zigzags to the Colorado line, and in over he goes. Here's Priolo with a shot to the left side of Belanger. Rebound jumps out for Buffalo's ball. Luke Wiles has got it. He's got some room now to work it. And he'll come over to the left wing side, goes to the right wing side. In over the line is Carter. He's double teamed on the play. Carter hangs on to it, takes the shot. Belanger with a save. Rebound stopped by the Colorado netminder, but another penalty coming up against Colorado. Stops the clock with 9:07 left to play here in this second quarter. Bandits lead it 3-0 tonight on Bandits Lacrosse.
To number 66, Richard Morgan, 2 minutes for holding. Morgan, 2 minutes for holding. Join us for the Blue Line post-game party at Cabo Start after every home game this season. Don't miss out on the opportunity to hang out with your favorite Buffalo Bandit players. Bandits and a chance to win out your Buffalo Bandit jersey or your tickets to the next game. Party is 21 and over. Check it out tonight. Bandits out now to select our rewards. Winners of the game where the Buffalo Bandits take a lucky roll for being fans and attending tonight's game. Tonight's rewards go out to section 307, row 1. Congratulations, you all won an opportunity to visit the Bandits VIP road line to see your Bandits take the field for the second half.
Bandits lead it with 9:07 remaining in the second quarter, 3-0. Jamie Rooney, Dane Smith, and Jimmy Purvis, the goal scorers, and they're right back to work down into the Colorado zone. Randy, Richard Morgan getting the penalty?
Richard Morgan getting the penalty. A great individual effort by Nick Cotter. He kind of got underneath. Morgan had no choice but to give him the hold. And then Cotter still being persistent with the ball, got rotated around, came out in front. Belanger made a great save on Cotter. The referee blew the whistle, and Buffalo back on the power play.
Colorado free of one player from the penalty box. So Morgan 6 for the next minute and 26 seconds. Depending if Buffalo can get on the scoreboard. They lead it 3-0. Mark Stainhouse brings the Bandits out to mid-turf. Stainhouse with 17 points coming into this evening's game. Luke Wiles with the ball. 6 goals, 3 assists in his last 3 games. Here's Rooney from the Wiles with a shot that burns wide. Rebound Williams, now to Rooney. Into the corner to Carter Bender. Bender using the boards to tip it over to Wilson with a shot that's blocked into traffic with 3 to shoot. And the loose ball is picked up by Colorado. Cameron Holding will bring the Mammoth back out to midfield. 47 seconds left in the penalty to Richard Morgan. Bandits lead it 3-0 here in this second quarter of play. Jones will take time off the penalty clock. We'll work it in. John Grant doing some blocking. Jones scores! How about that shot by Adam Jones, his 19th of the season?
High to high. Through a screen. Johnny Grant Jr. providing that screen. You got to double up on him. And Jones just kind of takes a peek, looks. Cosmo's in great position, but the ball has eyes. He goes high to high over the right shoulder. Great shot by Adam Jones.
Rookie of the year last year with his 76 points. He averages 4 points per game. One of the great offensive players, not only for Colorado, but for the National Lacrosse League. And now Randy Mearns, 5-5 in his last 3 games for Adam Jones. And the goose egg comes off the scoreboard for Colorado.
Yeah, and you're going to call that one a short-handed marker as well. Buffalo on the power play. Again, Grant doing some of the dirty work. He's creating some of the screens. He's helping out Adam Jones. Nobody gets out on Jones. There was 3 of them standing there, and he just takes advantage of the opportunity.
Billy D. Smith shovels the ball back over to the Buffalo forwards. Aaron Wilson, Dane Smith combined together. Now to Matt Wiles. Luke Wiles, that is. Here's Luke now with the ball. Near side over to Dane Smith. Into traffic for Wilson. Shot wide, and the rebound is picked up by Colorado. 3-1 Buffalo. Morgan comes out of the penalty box, so the Mammoth back to full strength. And will work the ball outside the line as Bob Hamley changes his crew up on the fly. Second quarter action with 6:55 remaining. Buffalo leading it 3-1. Colorado working the ball down in the Bandit zone. Near side is Jones with a shot that whistles to the left side of Anthony Cosmo, and Jones takes a check from Scott Self. And the loose ball from the over and back charge is picked up by Buffalo. From the corner now is Billy D. Smith. Or check that. Yes, Smith. Works it now over the line to Rooney. Here's Rooney. Far side pass. Tipping over to a Deacon Cotter with a shot. Saved by Belanger. Rebound along the end boards down into the Colorado zone. Kicked by Sean Williams. There's Rooney throwing a check. Colorado hanging on to the ball and down the left wing lane. Here they come. In over the line. Storming. Capito with a shot. And he scores. And this time I think he had his foot on the outside.
Yeah, the foot's on the outside for sure. How quickly the tide changes. First and foremost, the shot by Capito. He just outruns the Bandits again for the second time this evening. You know, he stands about 5'9", but he can fly. And he kind of throws a twister to the short side on Cosmo. Great goal beating Dane Smith back down the field. And that comes about 8 seconds after Nick Cotter toe drags the defender, gets a one-on-one with Belanger, but can't make it happen. We're 3-2, Johnny.
Third goal of the season for Capito, and here comes Colorado again with a shot and a save by Cosmo off the stick of Ilya Geitz, winning the draw. Colorado getting the ball, and the clock resets, so the Mammoth will stage things from their front door. Hamley changing things up. John Grant is already out there to the near side. Here's Grant working it into traffic area from the slot. Grant now forced to the outside of the far, and he got a shot away, and Cosmo makes the save. Rebound is picked off by Colorado. Joe Delgarno Now to Jones with a shot that blocked into traffic. Rebound is picked off by Colorado, and they work it now from the top of the slot. There's a shot that goes wide by Delgarno. Rebound Colorado, putting the pressure on Buffalo. Here's Jones now over the shoulder wide. Rebound Purvis. Can he get it? Colorado relentless down into the Buffalo zone, and finally the Bandits have it. And with 5:05 remaining in this second quarter and leading it 3-2, Bandits offense has got to stage an attack down into the Mammoth zone. Far side is Sean Williams. Luke Wiles out there along with Aaron Wilson and Carter Bender. Wiles with it down to the side over to Wilson with a shot that goes wide. Rebound back out to mid-turf. Save the over and back charge by Stainhouse. And he'll leave it down into the far corner just when the shot clock expires and stops things with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left to play into this second quarter. Buffalo hanging on 3-2. This is Bandits lacrosse.
At first time center, there are 3 sessions available starting at March for complete session. Is $59 per child. Visit Bandits.com and register for more information. On Bandit 309-310, Max is up here with Chris and Angola for a little game we like to call Buffalo 1. Chris is going to attempt to answer this question up on the video board for tickets to the next Bandit game here at Bandit in 2 weeks. So check the video board. Which Bandits player currently leads the team in goals? Is it A, Aaron Wilson, or B, Johnny Tavares? Bandit, help him out. What do you think? All right, Chris, what do you think? Tell me the decision, pal. A, Aaron Wilson, or B, Johnny Tavares? Which one are you going to pick? We're going B, right or wrong, find out. No! Chris, thanks buddy for playing well. Appreciate it, man.
3-2 Buffalo, but Colorado on a run here in the second quarter. Adam Jones scoring shorthanded for Jones, his 19th of the season. And then the Mammoth strike again with Joey Capito scoring his 3rd. The assist going, both goals going to Cameron Holding. And all of a sudden, Randy Mearns, we've got a game in Colorado with a shot edge 24-11.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, you kind of felt like Buffalo for 20 minutes just had control of the game. Everything was good. But you know what, again, it comes down to goaltending, shot opportunities, and when you bury your chances, and just like that, in a matter of 3 minutes, this game is closer than what it really kind of felt like.
Adam Jones with the ball, tipping it back now over to Chet Kazesny. He'll leave it off to another Colorado forward coming over the line, and guess who? It's John Grant from the near side. Grant looking for a lane from the slot area. Here's Grant with a shot to the right side of Anthony Cosmo. Rebound, Buffalo. Nope, stolen by Colorado, keeping the play down in the zone with 5 to shoot. To the near side. There's a shot labeled on by Colorado, saved by Cosmo, and the rebound picked off by Priolo. He'll over the shoulder it over to Mark Stainhouse, who will bring Buffalo's rush in. Here's Stainhouse now, give and go shot wide by Sean Williams, and the rebound picked immediately up by Colorado, and they dash right back into the Buffalo zone. In over the line comes Cameron Holding. There he scores!
Wow, that's Holding leading the rush and kicking it to a flying Sean Pollock, who one-touches it from crease to Jamie Lincoln, who beats Cosmo side to side. What a great play. And quick ball movement by the Mammoth. And we're all knotted up at 3 just like that, Johnny.
Right, Colorado took control of this game in the second quarter from the opening seconds, and they stayed down into the Colorado zone for a long time, for firing 3 to 4 quality shots. And their relentless attack is paying off and tying this game at 3 and leading in shots 26-11. Buffalo with the ball down into the Colorado zone. From the slot area, goes over to Dane Smith. He's deking his way, trying to, in front of Belanger. Here's Smith with a shot, shoulder save, rebound! And Rooney's in the crease. Quick to put it into the twine, but right back out to midfield. Colorado storms with Holding leaving the ball into the near corner for John Grant. Grant working his way into the slot, looking for a shot that goes wide. Rebound picked up by Colorado, and the rebound goes back behind the net. Out in front, over to Grant, over the shoulder feed, saved by Cosmo. Rebound, Billy D. Smith. Breaking down the left wing lane is Mark Stainhouse. Here's Stainhouse in over the Colorado line. Stainhouse with a shot, he scores!
No second chance opportunity for the Mammoth that time. Billy D. Smith corralling the GB. Stainhouse is already up and down the floor. He kicks it up to number 9, and he just comes down, and before the defender can get to him, on the run. What a great shot by Stainhouse. Like doing that on the run over top of the defender. He just goes high to low. Belanger looking like he wants that one back. Maybe that'll allow a little momentum to shift back towards the Bandit side of things, Johnny.
7th goal of the season for Stainhouse, giving Buffalo the 4-3 lead with 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to play into this second quarter. There's a feed pass out in front intended for Sean Williams, but intercepted by Belanger. His outlet pass connected over the right wing lane, and in over the line comes Geisch. Ilya Geisch now hanging on to the ball, setting up to a running Colorado player, Sean Pollock. Ball is checked along the boards back behind the net, but it's picked up by Pollock, centering it back out to the top of the slot over to Mac McLeod. Here's McLeod looking with 1 to shoot, or checked at 5 to shoot. The ball picked up by Stainhouse, and he'll work it down the left wing lane. 4-3 Buffalo. Stainhouse with it, completing Buffalo's change. And the forwards are out now with Luke Wiles along with Dane Smith from the corner. Is Cotter, now to Smith. Smith from the slot area, back to Cotter. He'll work it from the far corner to Sean Williams. There's Williams now. Wiles with a shot, and Belanger coming up with a save. 14th shot on goal for Buffalo. To Colorado's 28, with under a minute to play here in this second quarter. Colorado in over the line. Jamie Lincoln. Captured by Cosmo, outletted back over to Scott Self. Self, feed pass into traffic. That's blocked. Rebound scoots out, and it's picked off by Belanger, and he'll clear it down the right wing lane. And here come the Mammoth. In over the line. Working the ball is Creighton Reed. He'll tip it off to Jones while Colorado makes the change up on the fly with 25 seconds left here in the second quarter. Jones now to the near side. Works his way close into Cosmo. Feeds it out in front. Score! Colorado!
What great stick skills by Adam Jones. He goes one-on-one and leans on his defender. He gives a little spin move, then does a step away and throws a one-handed little flip. And a great feed to number 13, Matty McLeod, who breaks the seam, and he makes no mistake going short side on the twister past Cosmo. And we're tied up 4-4.
Timeout by Colorado's crew with 15.9 seconds remaining. Score is tied at 4. And the storyline of the game so far is Colorado coming back into the second quarter of play from the get-go on the face-off. They immediately took the game right down into the Bandit zone, and they stayed there for a long period of time, firing the shots and also getting the rebounds. And it's been that way for Colorado in this second quarter. And they have turned the tables on the Bandits, 4-4. Bob Hamley's crew calling timeout, and will stage something, Randy, of a play that they can put together in 15.9 seconds.
Yeah, there was, it looks as though there was some form of, at the face-off, and maybe an early starter jump, and the Mammoth immediately called timeout so they can pull Ty Belanger, go 6-on-5, start the ball at center. You're going to see the likes of Grant, Pollock, Jones, Jordan McBride out on the floor for the Colorado Mammoth. Delgarno's out there as well. 6-on-5. Johnny, see if they can get one late to go into the halftime. 5-4.
Adam Jones to the near side, back behind the net, feeding it out in front, shot on. Off the stick of Jordan McBride, rebound to the left side of the Buffalo net, and it's cleared all the way down the turf. And the first half is over here at First Niagara Center with the Bandits and Mammoth locked at 4. Bud Bailey of the Buffalo News will be my halftime guest this time out on Bandits Lacrosse.
Proceeds of the raffle are being donated to the Variety Club of Western New York. This is the beginning of the table of the West Pavilion. For raffle information and to find out how you can support the Buffalo Bandits on the road. Go by and meet the Buffalo Bandits per day. Bandits halftime lacrosse features the Buffalo Storm lacrosse blue team. Give it up for man and the Storm lacrosse blue team. Team Orange on the break. The Buffalo Storm blue team. 12 still controls all the way to that shot. Back and forth action for the Storm.
We've got a lacrosse game for you, ladies and gentlemen, with the Colorado Mammoth and Buffalo Bandits all locked up at 4. Buffalo got on the scoreboard, taking a 3-0 lead in the first quarter of play. It started at 3:24. Jamie Rooney.
On to 4-2. For the Orange, your back's out to save.
So Jamie Rooney scoring his first goal of the season, first as a Bandit, and that at 3:24. Carter Bender and Nick Cotter getting the assist. 8:20 Buffalo comes back. Dane Smith scoring his 14th of the season. Sean Williams the assist. Jimmy Purvis at 12:38 unassisted. Goes to work from the opening faceoff, stays down into the Buffalo zone. The hard work pays off. They go on a 3-goal run, tied up at 3, and then Buffalo at 12:26. Mark Steinhaus.
The stick check for the Orange team. Campbell's got control of it. Under 30 seconds now.
7th of the season for Mark Steinhaus in the second quarter of play. Billy D. Smith and Anthony Cosmo with the assists. Colorado ties it up at 14:43 with Matt McLeod finding that his 9th of the year. We stand 4-4 at halftime at First Niagara Center. Shots on goal 32-14 favoring Colorado. The Mammoth and Bandits are 0 for their attempts on the power play. Colorado 0 for 2 and Buffalo 0 for 4. Bud Bailey joins me from the Buffalo News, covering the Buffalo Bandits. And Bud, it's our midterm report. Halfway mark, actually last Friday night at the halfway point of the season. But the Bandits putting on a good show here this evening, but again being outworked by Colorado in the second quarter of play.
Boy, I hated midterms when I was in college, John. So
you got to study hard,
man.
You're
bringing back bad memories. Funny half, John. I think after the first period, when Colorado took so many shots, had kind of one-sided edge there. What was it? Let me look at the scoreboard. 13-5, and had absolutely nothing to show for it. You say to yourself, well, Colorado played yesterday. Is the Mammoth going to be tired going into the second period? No, they just stepped it up a little more. And after 32 shots, you know something's going to go in. And finally, I think they got some good opportunities and beat Anthony Cosmo 4 times. And as a result, we got a 4-4 game.
Interesting season for the Buffalo Bandits. We spoke at game number 1. Now 9 games history. This is the 10th game. What do you think so far?
I think they're about where I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be around 500, depending on how things broke, and 5-4 is pretty close to that. They've had some surprises and some disappointments over the course of the year. I think what strikes me maybe today with Rooney coming onto the roster, I think the Bandits had an awful lot of talent floating around, and some of it was hurt and some of it is being sorted out, but I'm not sure if they've really fit all the pieces together. And Darius Kilgore is obviously doing some experimenting and trying to figure out who goes where. But let's take a guy like Mike Hominick, who's certainly proven this year that he can score when given the chance and can do some things well. And he's been in and out of the lineup even with those facts. He's had trouble breaking in regular. He's a scratch tonight. And they've had other guys. They've been trying to work some of the kids in, some of the first and the second round draft picks and the third round picks, and they've seen a little action, but not too much. And it's the old balancing act of trying to get the kids some experience, but yet there are games to win and seats to fill and division titles to go after. So it's a difficult juggling act, and I think we've seen a little of that during the course of this season.
Halftime at First Niagara Center in downtown Buffalo, where the Bandits and Mammoth are locked at 4. Bud Bailey of the Buffalo News, my halftime guest. But about these young players in Dane Smith and Carter Bender, and the fact that the Bandits want to get younger while they've got some savvy veterans to keep out on the turf and give them the stick time.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, John, when I did a story a couple of weeks ago with Steve Dietrich, the general manager, who said basically the Bandits have relied on veterans and traded their draft choices over the last few years, and that was not the approach he was going to take. He wanted to see the Bandits get younger and more athletic, and they had 3 second-round draft picks in addition to the first-round pick, Dane Smith. You don't expect them to step right into this league in a 9-team league. There aren't many roster spots, but I think that's the way to go in general. I think that's going to be the correct approach to get some of these guys some experience. It's just a matter of knowing when you can pick their spots. Now, Bender gets back into the lineup today. Hayden Smith has been seen some playing time. I think he's down on the practice squad now, and it's tough. It's a juggling act, and you're not going to replace the guys like Sean Williams and John Tavares, unless he's hurt like he is tonight, and Aaron Wilson, and go on through the roster. There's a lot of veterans there that you want to see out there. So it's a very difficult job for Darius and the coaching staff to get these guys experience and get them ready for down the road while trying to maintain a semblance of good play in the present tense.
Halftime at First Niagara with the Bandits and Mammoth locked at 4. Bud Bailey of the Buffalo News, my halftime guest. let's go to the league and take a look at the overall standings. And well, we've always known that the East is going to be a wild race, but the West is starting to bottleneck as well.
What a wacky year, John. I was talking to Bob Hamley on the conference call and on Wednesday for the league, and he was sitting on 2-6. He's 2-7 now, and I said, what seems to be the problem? He goes, boy, this league is just so tight. You make a couple of mistakes at the wrong time and you're going to lose games, and obviously he's been on a tough losing streak right now, and you can say that about practically everyone. The line is just so fine. The Bandits looked like they were going to beat Philadelphia in a big game a week ago, and they're up 3 goals with 5 or 6 minutes to go, whatever it was, and they give up the tying goal with 3 seconds to go and give up the overtime winner 2 minutes later. It's just such a thin line between success and failure. And right now, I mean, Colorado doesn't look like it's going to break away. It's going to be able to turn things around. But Minnesota is down to 3-7, and those are the 2 teams trying to avoid the distinction of missing the playoffs. But Rochester's been hard to figure out this year. You can just go through the list. I thought Calgary and Rochester were the best teams going in, and certainly the Nighthawks haven't played well, and Toronto has. But Toronto looked less than stellar against Buffalo a week ago Thursday in a pretty disappointing loss. So you just don't know what you're going to get in this league.
Outside looking in, what do you hear from other sources, notwithstanding the league, but on anything that might be happening with other cities that would be interested in expansion, or they might be testing cities by putting teams in there from other cities? I'm just getting this from my hypothetical situation. If they're doing this research on the online survey that the NLL is running, and they're asking about certain teams playing in various cities or certain days of the week, leads me to believe that they might be thinking of pushing a couple of teams down with some extra games.
Well, they played exhibition games in Montreal and Vancouver in the preseason, John, and clearly those are 2 cities that the National Lacrosse League would like to be in. I don't think that's a secret. Most of the players come from Canada. I don't think the Bandits have an American player on the roster right now. It's all from Canada, and in fact, Colorado went up to Toronto last night, and Bob Hamley said something like, boy, it's tough to play there because all the guys have all these distractions of seeing family and friends in the Toronto area. It's just such a hotbed for indoor lacrosse. And the only exception to that is really Philadelphia, which is going through an American, has a mostly American roster, but otherwise Canadians just dominate. And Vancouver and Montreal are clearly big enough to support NLL teams. Ottawa probably is as well. It's just a matter of getting the right ownership group. And I've talked to George Daniel, the commissioner, about this a little bit, and I think he realizes that the league has expanded too quickly and given teams to groups that really couldn't afford it, that didn't really put enough money and support into those expansion franchises, and they failed as a result. They want to get it right when they go into places like Montreal and Vancouver right now, and that's certainly the prudent approach.
2 templates of success, the Buffalo Bandits and Colorado Mammoth, consistently with great crowds at their home games, and Colorado leading the league in attendance coming into this evening's game. I don't know what tonight's attendance here will be in Buffalo. It looks 16,000, 17,000.
One of the best crowds of the season, I'd say.
Colorado does an excellent job in retaining the fan and giving them a good piece of entertainment.
I think we know, John, what the template is for success. I think it really helps to have the parent hockey team owning the indoor lacrosse team. There's such duplication of effort, such in public relations, ticket marketing, whatever, if you have it separated. With the Bandits' relationship with the Sabres, they can go to people and say, all right, if you buy an ad for the scoreboards for the Sabres, we'll add something for the Bandits as an add-on, or however long it works. The ticket distribution is already here. The people are working. It's not that big of a deal to add it on. Calgary has now done that. Colorado has done it for years successfully. I think that's the way it goes. But you go up to Toronto, and just the rent for the building is something like $75,000 a night, or whatever the number is. It's quite high, and that's a big nut to overcome every single game. And I think that's what works, but it's just a matter of trying to find other cities who are willing to make that sort of arrangement. But I think that's the key to get more operations like that.
Talking lacrosse with Buffalo News, Bud Bailey. Great thanks.
My pleasure, John. See you at the end of the season.
Look forward to it. Second half coming up after this timeout tonight with the Bandits and Mammoth all locked up at 4. This is Bandits Lacrosse.
How about you, Bandits?
Second half coming up in just a moment with the Buffalo Bandits and Colorado Mammoth. John Gertler along with Randy Mearns. And Randy, look at individual scoring for the Buffalo Bandits. It's Mark Stainhouse, Jamie Rooney, and Dane Smith and Jimmy Purvis. But to the other side, and the key of the game to me in the playmaking is Cameron Holding, who has 3 assists. Jones, Lincoln finding net, as well as Matt McLeod and Joey Capito.
Yeah, you look at a guy like Cam Holding. You know, he's that transition guy. He can play both ends of the floor. They really try to utilize him at the defensive end and in transition. But he's been part and parcel of 3 goals because of the transition up the floor that have beaten the Buffalo defensive back into their defense. And guys are getting good looks. Another amazing stat, Johnny, 32 shots on goal by the Colorado Mammoth to just 14 by the Buffalo Bandits. I think it's a match of quantity versus quality.
Bandits will be moving right to left here in this third quarter. Score is tied at 4. Colorado has the ball, and Cameron Holding, who's got those 3 assists, leaves it off to the dashing forwards. In over the line comes Matt McLeod. McLeod feed pass out in front, shot on. Cosmo with a save. Rebound, Jimmy Purvis, or check that, Steve Priolo. And Priolo gets it over to Billy D. Smith. Outlets it to John Harrison, who dekes his way from the face-off circle at center. Tips it, closing in on the Buffalo bench. Over to Wilson, now to Nick Cotter. Cotter checked on the play, but hangs on to the ball. Top of the slot to a running Sean Williams. Here's Dane Smith, he scores!
Number 2 of the night for Dane Smith. This one's a high-to-high marker, but I love this. This one is created from a cut by Aaron Wilson, which breaks down the Colorado defense. He slices true. 2 guys go with him. And I believe it's Sean Williams is able just to kick it out to Dane Smith, and before that slide can get there, the shot's already gone. And it's high-to-high, and it's a 5-4 Buffalo Bandit lead. What a great shot by Smith.
The young rookie is on fire with his 15th of the season. As the ball goes down into the Colorado, or check that, the Buffalo zone. Jimmy Purvis with it. Will get it out now down the right wing lane with a full head of steam at center. Purvis deking his way, trying to get away of Geich. Leave it over the line. This is Luke Wiles from the corner, deking his way in close. Now to Wilson from the top of the slot. Wilson back over to Wiles. Wiles tries to feed it out in front to big Carter Bender, but the Colorado defense collapses and comes up with the ball and clears it right back out at mid-turf. 33-15 in shots favoring the Mammoth. Buffalo leads it 5-4. John Grant working the ball. Back over to one of his line mates, and here's Grant now from the corner. Scoots out from the slot area looking for a lane now to the left point as Grant goes. Pushing away, now back behind the net. Grant loses his composure, and down onto the turf he goes, and Buffalo picks it up. Good checking by Glenn Bryan, and the loose ball picked up by Buffalo and cleared right to the line by Steve Priolo. Priolo leaving it back over to Nick Cotter, fresh from the Buffalo bench. 5-4 Bandits. Near side is Sean Williams. Williams works it. There's a shot on by Dane Smith, saved by Belanger. He'll work it to the near side, and here comes Colorado out of the line with John Sullivan, tipping it back out to midfield. Ball thrown in by Matt McLeod into traffic over to Jordan McBride. Tried to set it up to the far side, but the ball is picked up by Buffalo's Jimmy Purvis, and here come the Bandits again, leading it 5-4 here in the third quarter. 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Purvis leaves the ball over to a running Carter Bender as the rookie comes over the Colorado line. Bender now from the corner, top of the slot. Wilson looking for a lane, takes the shot, and Belanger makes a save. And the young netminder outlets the ball to the left wing side, and that goes over to Jody Capito, who will dash it right to the line, and Bob Hamley changes things up on the fly. McBride comes out now from the lane area, from the slot, looking for a shot opportunity. Jones now with the ball. Tips it to the far side over to Grant. Now to Pollock. Here's Pollock with a shot saved by Cosmo. Rebound picked up by Pollock from the corner. Back to the top of the slot area. Shot off the side of Cosmo. And Stainhouse comes up with it. And it's picked up by Buffalo. And here they come back out to midfield. Stainhouse in over the line. Into the Colorado zone to a running Nick Cotter. Cotter with the ball. Takes the shot. He scores!
He knew it was going to happen, a matter of time for Nick Cotter. He's had some good opportunities, John. This time, there's a double screen that comes to him. But the play of it is Colton Clark for the Colorado Mammoth gets caught on defense. He starts going to the bench, giving Buffalo a quick 5-on-4 opportunity. And nobody's there to slide to Cotter. Gives a little high fake, gets all the way around and throws a twister to the short side. Great goal by Nick Cotter.
Fourth of this season for the former Boston Blazer. A little bit of a breathing room now for Buffalo, but Colorado knocking on the door. In over the line is John Grant from the corner, scooting back out from the slot area, takes the shot. Cosmo with the save, rebound in the webbing of his stick, over the shoulder outlet, pass to Jimmy Purvis. And Purvis brings the Bandits down the right wing lane. Here's Purvis now from the slot area. Hangs onto the ball and lost it off the webbing of his stick, and it's picked up by Colorado, and down the left wing lane come the Mammoth. Good dash by Colorado in over the line. Ball is set up back over to John Grant. Here's Grant now over the shoulder feed to the left side of Cosmo. Rebound Stainhouse, and Stainhouse breaks out at mid-turf. Turning on the speed and approaching the Colorado line. Stainhouse dishes it back off to Carter Bender, who plows his way in over the line. Far side pass. That goes over to Wilson. Now to Bender. Bender with his power, hanging onto the ball. Looking with 10 to shoot. Goes outside the line over to Sean Williams. Now Williams back over to the deking side in front over to Wilson, and he runs right into Belanger. And the play is stopped with 9 minutes and 56 seconds left here in this third quarter. Buffalo leading it 6-4. This is Bandits Lacrosse.
Hey fans, stop by the Senior Store, powered by Reebok, for any merchandise stream for all the latest Buffalo Bandit apparel and merchandise. The Senior Store is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for doing all Sabres and Bandits home games.
quarter with the Buffalo Bandits on a 2-goal run. It started at the 55-second mark. Dane Smith with his second of the night. Sean Williams and Nick Cotter on the assist. 3:43, Buffalo right back up on the scoreboard with Nick Cotter scoring his fourth. The assist going to Mark Stainhouse. 6-4 Buffalo here in this third quarter. Colorado with the ball. Back down to the turf. Ball shot in by Matt McLeod to the far side. Play is set up by Colorado from the top of the slot. Check that. Jamie Lincoln with the ball. Grant now does his blocking, allowing the shot by Pollock to go off the chest of Anthony Cosmo, and the rebound back outside. Ball picked up by Matt McLeod. Scoots in, feeds it right in front. Give and go shot, score, Colorado.
Yeah, another quick give and go. This time Buffalo has to go to the bench. I think somebody got their skid lid knocked off. It's a quick 5-on-4, and the Mammoth with quick ball movement make them pay as it goes from Pollock to Jones on the backside before Thornburg can get there. And the Mammoth pull within one. Oh, and that one just ricochets off of Cosmo going side to side and into the back of the net. He wants that one back.
Adam Jones, second of the night. And they've got a play under review for Jones. That is his 20th of the season at the point. And the challenge is on by Buffalo.
Yeah, I think at the first Niagara Center, I think it's pretty good because they for the Buffalo Bandits, that is they get the replays up very, very quickly. So the coaching staff can get an opportunity to take a peek before they decide that they're going to throw or not throw the yellow flag. That one's tough from the first angle that we see. They have a camera angle that's away from the play, so you can't really tell if there's any space in between that line and Adam Jones's foot. This might be a better look-see as we kind of get into here and you see the ball go. Yeah, you know what? It looks as though his foot is kind of on the line, but I don't know if you can overturn because you kind of see the roundness of the line of the crease, and you see the left foot of Adam Jones as the ball goes into the net. Let's see what other camera angle. Oh, this might be the camera angle that we're looking for, but we'll check it right here.
They're ready for it.
I'm going to say no goal.
No goal.
10 for 10. I had to get that in. I almost forgot.
Second goal denied for Colorado in this game. And it appears that Jones was inside the crease before the ball crossed over the goal line. So the on-field official taking a look at it from the challenge by Buffalo's bench. 2 challenges tonight. And the goal denied. 2 goals denied, so it remains 6-4 Buffalo. They've got the ball back down in the Colorado zone. Chad Culp with it from the side over to Luke Wiles. Now to Nick Cotter. Cotter to Williams. Williams back outside the line to Dane Smith. Here's Luke Wiles from the slot area. Luke Wiles hanging on to that ball, getting battered. Flips it out in front. Belanger catches it in the webbing of his stick and will clear it down the left wing lane for Colorado. Jared Park with it just outside the Buffalo line as Bob Hamley's crew changes up on the fly. In over the line is McLeod, now to the near corner. Ball is picked up by the Mammoth. Works it outside the line. Deking is John Grant. Here's Grant with the ball. Powers his way in over the shoulder feed. It's blocked into traffic. Rebound Jones. He is checked by Stainhouse, and Jones has got the ball. Here's Jones with a shot high over the crossbar. Rebound picked up by Buffalo. And with a stoppage at 8:25 remaining, we're going to have a penalty coming up against the Bandits.
And I think this one's going to go to Scott Self. No, check that. Mark Stainhouse on Adam Jones, who picked up the GB in the corner, got up underneath, and Stainhouse had no other thing to do than to give a little tug on Jones. Jones still got the shot off. Good stop by Cosmo. But the Mammoth, I think, are going to go on their third power play of the evening.
Boy, Jones's center of gravity is amazing, being checked that way and still controlling the ball with composure and getting the shot away.
So strong. You know, he worked on his game all through his career at Canisius, did all the running, did all the lifting. He's got huge calves, great center of gravity, plays so low to the ground.
Short-handed break for Buffalo, in over the line. There's a shot by Williams, or check that, Wilson. Picked off by Belanger, and he'll outlet it down the left wing lane over for Sean Pollock. Pollock with 4 assists last night in their losing effort to Toronto, and Pollock will set up the power play from the near corner. Back over to McBride. Now to the top of the slot to Grant. That hit the goalposts. Bounces back out, and Grant looks to save it from the over and back charge, which he does. And he'll clear it back over into Buffalo territory. Working the top of the slot is John Grant, leading the way with 10 power play goals for the Mammoth. Down into the corner. There's a play that's intercepted by Buffalo, and a break for the Bandits, and they'll work it shorthanded outside the line as it's carried by Glenn Bryant. Penalty killing team out on the turf. Nick Cotter works the ball in the webbing of his stick. Goes far side now. Over to Wilson, to Dane Smith, to Aaron Wilson, and to Jamie Rooney, who opened the scoring of tonight's game. Here's Cotter with the ball. Cotter from the slot area powers his way from 2 defenders. Shot wide with 4 to shoot. Rebound picked up by Colorado, and here they come dashing down the left wing lane. 6-4 Buffalo, third quarter action. 6 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Ball picked up by John Grant. Grant works it now to the near side. McBride setting up the play. Back over to Lincoln. Over the shoulder feed from the left side of Cosmo. Lincoln with a shot that goes wide. Rebound, Grant from the right point. 3 seconds left in the penalty to Mark Stainhouse. Shot clock expires on Colorado. Now Buffalo back to full strength. 6-4 Buffalo. Stainhouse leaves it. And Carter Bender tips it over to Sean Williams. Williams with the ball, takes the shot, and Belanger comes up with a nice save. 6-4 Buffalo here in the third quarter. Ball down into the Buffalo zone, picked up by Jimmy Purvis. He'll work it down the right wing lane. Buffalo changes up on the fly. 2-goal run for Buffalo here in this second half. Ball down into the zone with Cotter. Working it now to the top of the slot to a running Sean Williams. Williams feed pass out in front to Jamie Rooney, but a good save by Belanger, and the rebound picked up by Colorado, and immediately into the line comes Colorado. Top of the slot. Shot by Park is saved by Cosmo. Rebound, Buffalo.
That's a huge save by Anthony Cosmo. Colorado get the 2-on-1, but it looked like Cosmo knew exactly what was going to happen. Kirk was coming in. He knew he was going to probably try to go around him. He throws up the big trapper to keep the Buffalo Bandits up by 2. Great save by Cosmo.
Big quick timeout for Colorado. The goaltender, Ty Belanger, had an equipment problem. And looked like he fixed it very quickly, and we're back to action here at midfield, where Buffalo leads it 6-4. Third quarter action, 5:25 remaining. In over the line. It's Carter Bender to the near side to Williams. Now to Wilson, far side. Lead pass out in front for Wiles. That goes wide. Rebound picked up by Colorado and dashing down the left wing lane. And Morgan, as he's tumbled down to the turf. A large redwood falling down onto the synthetic turf. There's a good feed by Morgan out in front for Colorado. Saved by Cosmo. Not bad for a 6'8 player to regain his balance that way and back on the turf.
Oh, yeah, he's got great footwork, and then leads into a 3-on-2, which then he feeds Colton Clark, but Colton Clark can't beat the hot Cosmo. And Buffalo still has that 2-goal lead.
40-22 in saves, but Buffalo 6, Colorado 4. This is Bandits Lacrosse.
NLL.com is your home for live broadcast for every NLL game. You can watch the games live on a PC, laptop, iPad, mobile phone, and on TV. Watch the games anywhere and take the NLL network wherever you go, every game, every night. All right, Bandit, 104, 105. By the way, Swanee, before you get to this, everybody welcome Swanee back, will you? Time for Swanee Says. With Dan from Cheektowaga, Patrick from Tonawanda. Swanee, what are they doing tonight for some Bandit gear, pal? Really easy, ready? Yeah. Buffalo, what? Dan, you're first, buddy. Buffalo, what? Pretty impressive. Patrick, you got a lot to live up to, pal. Buffalo, what? I think it's pretty easy, but it's up to you. What do you think of Dan? What do you think of Patrick? Congratulations, good job, bro. All right, you guys get out of here. Come up here, Nick. We're going to segue First one he says to
Check out the Bandits' new app. You can stay in touch with your favorite team and get all of the fresh statistics and updated news with the Bandits app. To learn more, you can go to bandits.com. This is John Gertler along with Randy Mearns with you tonight from the Ted Darling Memorial Press Box. The Bandits with a 6-4 lead. Joe Hanault, our producer. Scott Fleetwood, our statistician. And the Bandits on a 2-goal run here in this third quarter. But Colorado taking a shot on, they score! Jordan McBride finding net.
Yeah, that's an offensive play. It looks as though they drew that one up at the bench. That was designed for Jordan McBride to come off of a screen and then a slip. It actually gets to the wrong side of the floor, but it's still not a bad angle, and Anthony Cosmo wants that one back. It's a high to low. It seems that John Grant screens, and it just goes just past the left pad of Cosmo. Great accuracy by Jordan McBride, and the Mammoth were within one.
So McBride on the scoreboard. Let's pause for station identification down the network line. So the Mammoth come within one. It's 6-5 Buffalo here with 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. Buffalo swarming down into the Colorado zone. 3 to shoot. The ball trickles into the far corner and it's picked up by Colorado. And here is Jarrett Park down the left wing lane. They'll leave it back out at midfield. Right away for John Grant, who brings his forces right to the Buffalo line from the right wing side. And Grant hangs on to the ball, looking for an open lane from the slot. Tried to feed Jones out in front. He comes back with it. And Jones has got the ball now over to the side. Good pass long into the corner. Back to Jones. 5 seconds left on the shot clock for Colorado. Flushing it out is Pollock with a shot. Saved by Cosmo. And the ball cleared right back into center field by Buffalo, leading it 6-5. 3:25 remaining here in the third quarter. Buffalo from the far side. Play set up now by the Bandits. Deking the way, Smith over to Cotter. Cotter with it, looking for an open lane. Tried to feed. Carter Bender couldn't do it. Comes back with the ball, feeds it out in front, and here's a break for Colorado and a breakaway down the lane. Right out in front. Jamie Lincoln, he scores! 6-6, and Lincoln capturing a loose ball.
Seemed like they're a little bit of a mix-up, communication kind of pressure. You had time to feed. Buffalo had the ball, and just an inadvertent pass, and it's not handled. And Lincoln's off to the races. And he makes no mistake. Just a high heater, no fake, just a quick snapshot, buries it to the right side of Anthony Cosmo. We're all knotted up at 6. Great goal by Jamie Lincoln.
His 11th goal of the season. So the former Denver University Pioneer and transferred over to Hofstra. Getting his time here in indoor lacrosse. And Sullivan, check that, Lincoln comes up big with his 11th. 6-6 here in the third quarter of play. 2:31 remaining. Williams with the ball outside the Colorado line. Leaves it back onto the turf for Bryan. Now back to Williams. Allows his team members to get into position. Luke Wiles from the far corner has some control problems. Now he's checked along the boards. Loose ball. Finds Aaron Wilson coming up with it, scooting out, but eludes one of the checks. Takes the shot with 1 to shoot. Good coverage by Colorado's defense, and they clear back out to midfield. Tied at 6. 44-23 in shots, Colorado. And they're storming back down into the Buffalo zone. Far side as the play is set up by the Mammoth. Here's McBride now looking for a lane. Feed pass out in front. That's picked off by Buffalo's defense, and Steve Priolo will run down the left wing lane, and Priolo goes to the line. Tips it over to Scott Self. Self with a shot that goes wide. Rebound picked up by Geich. Comes up with the ball, gets it down to the left wing side enough to get the 8-second charge to midfield. Is good by Park, and Park leaves it right off for Sean Pollock. Here's Pollock now for Colorado from the left wing side. He's got some help up front there by Matt McLeod. Feeding it back over. And McLeod is there looking for a lane open with 7 to shoot. Far side. There's a shot on that goes wide. Rebound back out at mid-turf. Captured by Pollock. And just at the 30-second shot clock, he'll leave it down into the near Buffalo corner. Score is tied at 6. Colorado right back into it. After Buffalo took a 6-4 lead and more control problems, an 8-second violation will afford Colorado the ball down into the Buffalo zone.
Yeah, you can't afford those inadvertent little mix-ups. It's hard enough to keep possession in the National Lacrosse League. There wasn't any press by the Colorado Mammoth, and those are the ones that hurt you. These second and third opportunities.
David Brock making the save for Buffalo and bringing it back out to midfield. Stood right in front of that shot and made the block and came up with the rebound and cleared it back out, and Sean Williams brings it over for Buffalo to the near side with 34 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Score tied at 6. Pass over to Aaron Wilson with a shot. Belanger with a save, and the rebound picked up by Colorado, and right back to work they go, and here's Capito in over the line. Joey Capito, twisting turn, takes the shot just to the left side of Cosmo. With seconds left here in this third quarter. Buffalo breaks out and Cosmo runs to the bench. The 6th attacker is out. Buffalo wants 7. In over the line is Sean Williams. Here's Williams. Feed pass out in front. Intended for Chad Culp. It's kicked into the near corner, and that's going to do it for the third quarter of play. It's a good one tonight from Buffalo, with the Bandits and Mammoth locked at 6. This is Bandits Lacrosse.
Bandits 6 and the Colorado Bandits 6 shots on goal for third, Buffalo 10, Colorado 12. They got the Bandits.
Great game tonight at First Niagara Center. John Gertler, Randy Mearns with you. Joe Hanault, our producer. Scott Fleetwood, our statistician. Buffalo on the scoreboard at the 55-second mark of the third quarter with Dane Smith, 3:43. Nick Cotter gives the Bandits a 6-4 lead. And then Colorado goes to work at 10:25. Jordan McBride scoring his 9th goal of the season. And then at 12 minutes, Jamie Lincoln with his 2nd of the game. And for Lincoln, his 12th of the year. Score is tied at 6 here in the fourth quarter. Shots on goal 44-24 favoring Colorado. Mammoth are 0 for 3 on the power play. Bandits are 0 for 4. And the Bandits will be moving left to right here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, this game's got a lot of ebbs and flows. Buffalo off early. Colorado comes back. Buffalo regains the momentum. Colorado comes back. Who's got more in the tank? Fourth quarter. Who's going to make the good decisions? Who's going to be the difference of the game? Who's going to get the second opportunity?
Mark Stainhouse playing up front, shot straight on. Belanger comes up with a save. The rebound scoots out in front, but Buffalo relentless down into the Colorado zone, and the Bandits have the ball. The shot clock is reset, and Stainhouse is a part of this rush for the Bandits here in the opening moments of this fourth quarter of play. Score is tied at 6. Here's Stainhouse now from the left point. Looking to pass along. It goes to the far side over to Aaron Wilson. Wilson deking his way back outside the line to Stainhouse. Stainhouse coming in from the left point, looking for the lane. Dekes his way in closer to Belanger. Works it now with 5 to shoot. Here's Luke Wiles with a shot that bounces well wide of the Buffalo net. Rebound right at the 32nd shot buzzer by Cotter. It bounces all the way back down into Buffalo territory. 6-6 the score. Fourth quarter action. Buffalo started with a 3-0 lead after 1 quarter of play. Colorado battling back, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. John Grant with the ball from the right point inside the Buffalo zone, still looking for his first goal of the night. Far side pass over to Sean Pollock, back over to Grant, feeding it over to the right side. Score, Colorado.
Yeah, and they're going to count that. Buffalo, they're questioning that call right now. There was a huge battle of Matty McLeod and Billy D. Smith in the middle, right in front. But the ball gets to the right-hand side, and Jordan McBride goes airborne, shows far, comes back short. And I don't believe the Buffalo Bandits have any more challenges
left.
Don't. So that's going to be a countable goal for the Mammoth. Whether or not you think that McBride's right knee touched the carpet before the ball went in. Great goal. It's going to count. 7-6 Colorado.
First lead of the night for the Mammoth after being down 3-0 in the first quarter of play. Buffalo built the 6-4 lead in the opening moments of the second half, but Colorado now with the lead. 13:05 remaining. Colorado down into the Buffalo zone to the far side. Working it now to the top of the slot. There's a shot that's blocked into traffic, picked up by the Bandits, and it's a breakaway now for David Brock. Brock scooting inside over the line. Here's Brock with a shot to the right side of Belanger. Rebound, Jimmy Purvis in on the rush. And Purvis is double teamed on the play. The ball scoots onto the turf. Battle for it continues to the far side and is picked up by Colorado and cleared down the right wing lane and in over the line. Come the Mammoth, led by Jamie Lincoln. 2 goals on the night for Lincoln. And Bob Hambley will change it up on the fly immediately. John Grant out there along with Adam Jones. Here's Jones from the top of the slot, taking a swat from Billy D. Smith. Jones getting an opening, taking the shot to the right side. 5 to shoot, rebound picked up by Colorado. Deking in the slot, taking the shot to the right side of Anthony Cosmo, and now Buffalo's ball with 12 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. 7-6 Colorado. Down the left wing lane is Steve Priolo. Deking his way from the face-off circle at center. Looking for the alignment, will flush it down into the Mammoth zone. There's a shot that goes wide by Buffalo. Rebound picked up by the Bandits. Shot clock is reset, so Belanger got a piece of that one. Dane Smith with the ball to the near side. Working the ball to the far side as it's picked up by the Bandits. Ball work now by Chad Cope. Now to the far side over to Sean Williams. Williams hanging onto the ball. Into traffic. Give and go shot there for Dane Smith goes wide.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much. Crossfield pass. Dane Smith with the quick hands and a quick release. Just to the far side of Ty Belanger.
Mammoth leading it 7-6 and in shots by a margin of 45-26. In over the line comes Colorado's John Grant. Scoots out, looking for the shot, takes it, and Cosmo comes up with a save.
Yeah,
Rebound.
I think that one squirted through his legs. Fortunately for Cosmo, that rebound went wide.
Colorado getting the rebound with a new shot clock. There's a shot straight on by the Mammoth. Cosmo coming up with a save, collecting himself back up to the crease line, and we'll get the net in line as Self brings the Bandits into the line. Carter Bender with a shot, and Belanger with a save. Rebound, Nick Cotter. Cotter cools things down from the far corner. Back over to Sean Williams, fresh from the bench to the near side. Over to Luke Wiles. Here's Wiles now, looking for an opening. Elects to go over to Williams from the right point. Bender setting up a check for him to allow the lane to go open. Here's Wiles with a shot. A penalty coming up against Colorado. Buffalo retains control of the ball down into the Colorado zone, but then it's taken away. And a penalty coming up against the Mammoth with 10 minutes and 23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 7-6 Colorado.
That's going to be a holding penalty. We're going to check the number here as they get close. It's to number 19. And that is going to go to Cameron Holding for holding the stick, not an actual hold, but off ball. He's tugging the stick. I believe it's going to be the 5th power play for the Buffalo Bandits tonight. They are 0 for 4 on the night. What a great opportunity for Buffalo to tie this game and capitalize.
See what they can do here. Working the top of the slot is Sean Williams. Williams and Luke Wiles together setting up the play and narrowing the margin in close on Belanger. Wiles now and Williams down deep into the corner to Carter Bender. His ball is flipped into traffic but is retained by Wiles. In over the line he goes to the near side. Picked up now by Wilson, and that's a shot by Williams. Belanger comes up with a save and he makes a long stretching outlet pass inside the zone, and John Grant is there, takes the shot, and Cosmo has to scissor up the ball right to the line. And the clock will stop with 9 minutes and 51 seconds left to play here in this fourth quarter. The Mammoth lead it 7-6 tonight on Bandits Lacrosse.
Well, let's take a look at the HD video board for tonight's Save the Game presented by H&R Clock. Free and easy, but it could be better. Here it is, Save the Game. Obviously, it's going to be Anthony Cosmo. Offside standing 16,428. First 9% of Buffalo Bandits, thank you. Well, it's time to make the right decision. Now time for our Aruba collision of the game. Here's the first hit, number 6. Eric Sutton is going to put Lincoln. Bang, right there. We got one more for you. Let's check out this next hit. Number 90, Shaky Rooney. Couple of good ones to choose from. Bucks, what do you think? How did I get number 1? How about number 2?
The Bandits are having a training camp. It's on March 23rd. Open for gals 7 to 17. Go to bandits.com for more information. John Gertler, Randy Mearns, high atop the Ted Darling Memorial Press Box. A great indoor lacrosse game tonight with the Buffalo Bandits and Colorado Mammoth. Mammoth, first lead of the night, 7-6. Leading in shots, Randy Mearns, an amazing margin. And there is no quit in this Bob Hamley team.
Yeah, they're definitely, the Mammoth are not afraid to shoot. They shoot the ball from everywhere. Most of them are good opportunities. Some a little bit further out than I think they would want. But they get the second and third opportunities because they've just been owning the loose balls. Hence, that's the 46-25 marker, an advantage on the shots on goal.
Luke Wiles on the power play from the top of the slot. Saved by Belanger. Rebound, Chad Culp. Now to Sean Williams, now to Culp. Deep into the corner. Culp now from behind the net. Tried to set up Jamie Rooney. Couldn't do it. Rebound on the turf. Rooney looks to capture it, which he does. Sweeping it back over to Luke Wiles. Far side pass. There's a shot on by Williams. Saved by Belanger. Rebound Colorado. And here they come. Storming shorthanded out. And Capito with the ball to the left side of Anthony Cosmo. Wow, did Joey Capito have a full head of steam or what?
Yeah, he can fly. I'm not so sure that last shot by Sean Williams didn't ring off the pipe. Needless to say, Capito gets up and down the floor, and Cosmo's got to make another spectacular save.
19 seconds left in Holding's call. No pun intended. Top of the slot is Wiles. There's Dane Smith now to the near side. Wiles from the slot area, far side. There's a drive to Cope, and that's blocked by Belanger. Here's Cope again, setting it up to Smith with a shot. Belanger right in the center, and he makes the save.
Oh, post to post. He hammers down on Culp, then it goes to the far side, and he throws up the big right pad. Ty Belanger having an outstanding effort tonight at the First Niagara.
Mammoth back to full strength and leading this game 7-6. They've got control of the ball down to the Bandit zone. It's John Grant to the near side. Scoots out now, gets close to Anthony Cosmo, takes the shot wide, rebound. Colorado, Jones with the ball. 3 to shoot, makes the shot, saved by Cosmo, looks for the outlet pass. And elects to go to Scott Self just at the line. Self back out to center, over to John Harrison, and to bring the Bandits in over the Colorado line. 7-6, Colorado fourth quarter action, 7:41 remaining. Buffalo storming to the far side, deking his way in close. Nick Cotter couldn't get the shot away, elects to go to Dane Smith from the top of the slot. Smith loses control of the ball, has to go back for it down along the near boards. Harrison in to help as well. Some pushing and shoving erupt with Dane Smith along with Jamie Lincoln. And now the pushing and shoving continues, and Let's see if they continue even further by taking off their helmets and gloves and going at it.
Well, somebody's down on the far side in behind the play. Not too sure who that is. We'll check
Jonesy.
that number.
He got smacked up into that traffic area, and Adam Jones. And we get a field level look at it now on a replay.
Lincoln gets in there. He's jabbing at the ball. Him and Dane Smith kind of get after it. They're going to serve some time. Probably both 2 for roughing. And then away from the play by the goalie, something happens to one of the Mammoth players. He's lying on the ground.
Jones goes to the penalty box as well. So that stops things with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to play here in regulation. The Mammoth with a 1-goal lead, 7-6. This could be the storyline of the game right here in this stoppage of play, Randy, for both teams to collect themselves and to reestablish an attack.
Yeah, I think that the refs are probably going to make this as Sean Williams and John Grant get over to the referees, trying to figure out what's going to go on. I bet you this is, for the most part, probably going to be an even-up situation. I don't know if the referees are going to want to, get in the way of this brawl that's happening here at the First Niagara. It's 7-6. It's been a great game. I see 5 Buffalo players on the field. See 5 Colorado Mammoths. It's going to be 5-on-5. Cooler heads are going to prevail.
So Wilson and Jones sit in the box 2, along with Dane Smith and Jamie Lincoln. And yes, you're right, Randy. We'll be back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. 50-31 in shots, Colorado. They've got the 1-goal lead, 7-6, and control of the ball in over the line of the Buffalo zone. Now to the near side. There's Joe Delgarno back over to John Grant. Grant now from the right point, outside the line to the far side to Jordan McBride. McBride back behind the net, making the pass. Deking away is Colorado, working the ball with 5 to shoot. Down into the Buffalo zone. There's a shot on, and Cosmo comes up with a save. Got it wrapped up into his equipment, and will outlet the ball over to Scott Self. 6:55 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 7-6 Colorado. Buffalo looking for their first home win since January 26th. And Colorado trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Jared Park with the ball, leaves it off now. Ilya Gaich that is, and Gaich leaves it over to John Grant. Grant in over the line to the right wing side. Deking in close on Anthony Cosmo. Grant trying to get a one-handed shot away. Will hang on to it and retreat back over to the right point. Far side pass, give and go, score, Colorado.
And I think that's the hat trick for Jordan McBride. Again, Cosmo going from post to post. It's from one side, Johnny Grant's side, over to Jordan McBride. He's got quick hands. And he throws a laser coming all the way back. As all the attention's over at John Grant Jr., McBride just finds that nice seam. And it's a high to low. And it goes back to the far side, reverse to where Cosmo was coming from. And the Colorado Mammoth have extended the lead by 2 on the hat trick by McBride.
Turn things around here in the second half. Buffalo with a 3-0 lead in the first quarter, 6-4 going into the third quarter, and Colorado's held strong, and now they've got the 2-goal lead, 8-6, with 6:08 remaining into regulation. Grant right back into the swing of things, setting up the play. Back to the far side as it's set up by Colorado from the corner. Bouncing ball picked up by the Mammoth with 3 to shoot, left into the far corner. And a shot right onto the shot clock buzzer. And it'll be picked up by Buffalo. And here they come down the left wing lane with Steve Priolo bringing the Bandits out to center. Immediately, Buffalo changing up on the fly. Luke Wiles runs out. Carter Bender is with him. Errant ball goes along the end boards. And it's picked up by Joey Capito. He'll bring Colorado back to the Buffalo line. And the Mammoth leading it 8-6. Working it over the line now is Jordan McBride. Tips it back to the near side over to Jamie Lincoln. Now back over to John Grant. Grant works it in the webbing of his stick. He's got a lane open. Grant getting in closer. Grant taking a couple of swats, tried to set up Jamie Lincoln. But that's picked up by Buffalo, and here they come back down the left wing lane. Stainhouse in over the line, a part of the play. Top of the slot, shot to save by Belanger. Rebound Buffalo, and the shot clock is reset. Here's Stainhouse outside the line. Tips it over to Luke Wiles. Wiles with a shot. Belanger with another save. And Colorado comes back up with the ball and down the right wing lane. Storm the Mammoth in over the Buffalo line. All held up by Creighton Reed as Bob Hamley changes his crew up on the fly, leading at 8-6 here in the fourth quarter of play. Here's Colorado again from the near side. There's a long drive, score, Colorado.
And that's Joel Delgarno, his first marker of the night to put the Mammoth up by 3. And again, that was another side to side. The ball's with the righties. They filter it over as Delgarno just pops the seam. Great feed by McBride. Quick hands by Delgarno. He goes high to low. Cosmo wants that back. And it's a 3-goal lead for the Mammoth.
So the all-time leading scorer of Ohio State, Joel Delgarno, with his third of the year, to give the Mammoth the 3-goal lead, 9-6, with 4:20 left to play here in this fourth quarter. Colorado winning the draw and controlling the ball. John Grant will bring his Mammoth in over the line and will work it from the slot area. Here's Grant now, working the ball, taking the shot, he scores!
Wow, and that goal put Anthony Cosmo into the back of the net. John Grant doing, I like to call it a hot lap. He starts down low, comes all the way around, utilizing picks, and he gets all the way on his wrong side, and they clear space, and he just throws a high to low twister in between the pads of Cosmo. Oh, and that one squeaks through. Cosmo wants that one back too. And just like that, in a matter of minutes, it's a 4-goal lead by the Mammoth.
4 minutes left to play here in regulation, and John Grant finally on the goal-scoring board on a beauty by the master. 29th of the season for John Grant and the illustrious over 1,000 point club. And Grant giving his club the 10-6 lead. And the Mammoth again knocking on the door. Cosmo comes up with a save and makes the outlet pass over to Mark Stainhouse. It's a running play with Mark Stainhouse in on Belanger. Here's Stainhouse shoving it back over to Williams. He takes the shot. Belanger with a save to the right side.
Oh, and what a beautiful save by Belanger. 2-on-1. Unselfish of Stainhouse. Williams got all day. High, goes far side. Big right pad by Belanger to keep it a 4-goal lead.
10-6 Colorado. This timeout, please, on Bandits Lacrosse.
042. Your only donate ticket. Congratulations on the concert. Is everything your prize? All right, time for the Sabres Foundation 50-50 raffle. Let's dig in here. Get your tickets out. Here it is, winner. Go to account services to claim. We'll scan it, we'll read the number, and let you know how to figure this out. Big buddy, here it comes. Up on the video board here shortly. Trust me when I tell you. Let's go. Instead, I'll just read. 03, there it is, 0370 1112. 0370 1112. The Sabres Foundation. Thanks for the holder of that ticket. Account services are taking away. Thank you.
All Colorado in the fourth quarter of play. And putting it together with the third quarter on a 6-goal run, and they've taken a 10-6 lead with 3:30 left, and they've got control of the ball from this timeout. In of the line is Jamie Lincoln from the right wing side. Lincoln sizing up the situation, double teamed on the play, throwing the ball back out to midfield, save the over and back charge as it's carried now by Holding from the far side. Play set up by Colorado, working the clock management now. Loose ball picked up by Steve Priolo, and Buffalo looks to dash out down the left wing lane as Priolo brings the Bandits from midfield right to the Colorado line. Quick change in a play for Wiles with this shot. Belanger making a nice save, scissoring up the ball right in the crease area and stopping Buffalo's attack. And the forwards retreat, and here comes the defense for Buffalo.
Buffalo's got to get something to the net, and that's not a bad. Lukey Wiles is in a good shooting spot. But unfortunately, his shot's just off tonight. He hit the Belanger a little bit closer to the belly pad than he was aiming for the post. Easy save by Belanger.
Good ball movement by Holding. He takes the shot, scores!
Oh,
What a night for Cameron Holding.
yeah, the youngster, great play. Again, more of a D transition guy. He finds himself on the offensive end. And he kind of fades down this board, down the close boards, gives a little hedge fake like he's going to make a feed, gets underneath his defender, toe drags, little spin, little toe drag underneath, couple fakes, far side. Cosmo got no chance on Holding's goal.
Second of the season for Cameron Holding. And Colorado with an 11-6 lead with 2:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. Bandits down into the Colorado zone, trying to get a shot away. Some errant passes tonight. And force Colorado, or the Bandits, try to pick up the ball in their own zone. Dane Smith checked but regains his positioning. Feed pass over to Wilson with a shot, and Belanger with another strong save. The rebound to the left side of the Colorado netminder, and Wilson got a little too close to Belanger, and his teammates take exception to that. Sullivan, along with John Sullivan, in there.
Yeah, Rory Smith's in there as well. He's one of the heavies in the National Lacrosse League. So Glenn Bryan's going to go to the box. It looks as though potential goaltender interference. Gives a big whack at the left glove of Belanger. And the Colorado Mammoth are going to have a 5-on-4 power play, 2:05 left, 5-goal lead. I think this one might be all she wrote, Johnny.
So for Colorado, who took the 4-goal lead in the first quarter of play last night in Toronto, only to lose to the Rock, tonight have stormed back to put pressure on these Bandits after the Bandits had a 3-0 lead and a 6-4 lead at one time in the second half of play. And Bob Hadley's group did not quit at all. It actually the table started to turn, Randy, back into the second quarter, where Colorado winning that opening draw, and then they stayed down into the Bandit zone and went shot after shot after shot. Cosmo coming up with some fine saves. Give and go shot, Colorado scores, and that's off the stick of Adam Jones.
And this one's going to go under review, under 2 minutes, 1:26 left. All the goals get reviewed. Adam Jones a little close to the crease. I think this one's going to count. And just a great feed cross crease from Pollock to Jones. And the Buffalo Bandits have been doubled up.
Boy, the wheels
12-6.
have just wobbled right off for Buffalo. Last score was at 3:43 of the third quarter of Nick Cotter to give the Bandits the 6-4 lead, and then Colorado just mounting the attack left, right, and center, high side, far side, near side, short side, and have come up strong into this fourth quarter of play. And even though the goal is under review, they stand 12-6. A dramatic turnaround for Colorado. A team looking for something on a 5-game losing streak. They played what Bob Hamley said, a respectable game last night in Toronto. But Toronto, with their potent power play going 5 for 7, just locked and loaded and went on and win the game. But Colorado coming up here with composure. Yes, they were down 3-0 in the first quarter of play, but in the second quarter, they just chipped away, and finally got back into this game.
Yeah, they certainly did. You know, they got a lot of shots. They got a lot of second and third opportunities. Their man-down defense played a stellar game, holding Buffalo at bay on the power play. And Ty Belanger, the youngster, he was seeing it tonight. He was making some, the saves he needs to make, but he was making some key saves on some great opportunities for the Buffalo Bandits. And it's a game of runs. It's a game of momentum. And Colorado, just this whole back half of the third quarter and fourth quarter, just seemed to have more in the tank. They just wanted it more tonight, Johnny.
Under a minute to play in the regulation, with Colorado leading at 12-6. These two teams will be right back at it a week from tonight in Denver, Colorado, at the Pepsi Center. We'll have the broadcast for you with the pregame show beginning at 8:30. The faceoff will be at 9. We want to remind our listeners Don't forget to turn your clocks ahead tonight when you put your head on the pillow. Spring forward, fall backwards. Spring forward.
Spring forward.
Fall backwards.
You know, you're actually mentioning the Buffalo Bandit app. So my two kids,
yes,
they got these. What do they got? I don't know if they got phones or these iTouches or whatever.
Smartphones.
They got something.
Are
I
you
don't
wicked
know.
smart?
Nah, I'm kind of smart, but I'm not. I don't know if I'm wicked smart like you, Johnny.
A smartphone.
But so they got these. They got these the Bandit apps.
Where?
So they're saying they're phenomenal.
Cool?
Oh yeah, they're saying it's real cool. I mean, you can download all your favorite pictures of your players, the whole bit. So if you're out there listening in, download that Bandit app. That's it's pretty cool. So, but I'm not technologically sound really all that much. So they got to show me how to do this. Like apps frighten me. I think I'm gonna get charged.
But the boys, they love it.
Oh,
they can get right to it and download
dink,
it.
whack, dink, there it is, done. I'm like, what? How's that happen?
Stat. Download plays,
replays, the whole bit, the whole gamut things.
Well, how about this game tonight? Big turnaround for the Colorado Mammoth, ready to snap a 5-game losing streak. They're out shooting Buffalo 60-36. They've had that margin all the way, and that size of margin all the way through the game. And it paid dividends, particularly starting at the 10:25 mark of the third quarter. And just Colorado mounting the attack. And
it just kept on.
Convincing one. Now we're going to have a heavyweight bout with Steve Priolo and Rory Smith. Now we've also got Jimmy Purvis going after another Colorado player. But the bout is, now we've got Morgan going along with Billy D. Smith. And now we've got a bench duel. It's an all-yard sale with all of the Buffalo Bandits that are out on the turf fighting a Colorado player. David Brock going as well. This is a free-for-all. Steve Priolo and Rory Smith, Billy D. Smith, and Richard Morgan. Wrestling match with David Brock fighting Ilya Gaich. And Smith and Morgan separated. Rory Smith and Steve Priolo the same, and the yard sale is on out at mid-turf here at First Niagara Center with sticks, helmets, gloves, you name it, and the frustration showing for the Buffalo Bandits with 30.9 seconds remaining. As it all began with Steve Priolo and Rory Smith, and then the rest of the players out on the turf decided to go for it. The goaltenders, and Ty Belanger and Anthony Cosmo, just decided to say, well, no, I'm going to stay right here at the crease and watch this action.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, like you say, it started with the heavyweights, then Purvis goes. Next thing you know, David Brock's going, Billy D. Smith and big Richard Morgan. You know, is it Buffalo setting the tone? Because remember, it's a home and home. They're going out to Denver next week saying, hey, listen, you might have won this round in the battle. Are you going to continue to win the war? It was kind of interesting when after the timeout, you looked at all the matchups. You know, you kind of sitting there saying, okay, heavy. You almost felt like
Smith,
you almost felt like something was thinking about happening. And the trigger with Priolo and Rory Smith right at center stage, buckets off. That'll spark a few things.
So with 30.9 seconds remaining, Bob Hamley elects to take the youngster Ty Belanger out, and will put the other youngster in, Dan Lewis, to finish the game. And Darius Kilgore will do the same as Curtis Wagner comes in for the Buffalo Bandits, and to get rid of this 30.9 seconds remaining. Did Colorado call a timeout, or did Buffalo call a timeout?
I believe it was Colorado.
If Colorado called a timeout, why?
Well, I don't really know. I don't know, Johnny.
I don't know.
Like they had the ball. I think it was okay, call the timeout. Was it necessary? Was it not?
12-6?
I don't know. Was this like, hey, set it up? But I even think this, like, let's make sure we got the right players on the field from a Colorado perspective. Like, you know what? Johnny Grant, get off the floor. Like, you don't need 18 seconds left. The game's over. You know, so maybe they call a timeout, put the personnel. Buffalo Bandits, they oblige with their personnel. And, hey, there you go. You had about a minute and a half of excitement. It looked like WWE, but with bombs. Actually, no, it'd be more MMA.
Yeah.
You know, UFC.
Oh, they were firing it from one line to another line.
It was
Well, it's a pretty good
There's pretty good
fight going on there, and like you say, evenly matched. And the crowd in the background, those are remaining here at First Niagara Center, giving a round of applause to the Bandit fighters who were sent to the penalty box, and then the on-field officials decided to open up one box at a time and allow the Bandit players to go to the dressing room, and then they just finished off with the Colorado players, and we'll try to get this game cleared with 30.9 seconds remaining, but certainly the on-field officials are busy dishing out the penalties.
You know what's tough about that too is you didn't know which fight to watch.
I know it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they should have timed them out a little bit better.
I was focusing in on the Priolo-Rory Smith fight because they were yapping with each other about 10 minutes ago. So I kind of figured that something would be going there. And sure enough, they were the first ones to drop their gloves and take off their helmets. And then the whole floor decided to say, well, let's just go for it.
Well, because then Purvis down on the Buffalo end, they all of a sudden, boom, they just started going at it. And then the next thing you know, you see Billy D. Smith and Big Morgan.
Oh, that's a good matchup.
That's
too.
a great matchup. Those are big men there. Boom, boom, boom. And Billy D ends up getting up on Morgan. Then we got David Brock, and I don't even know who the fifth. I'm not too sure.
I think that was Ilya Gaich.
Ilya Gaich, but who was he sparring with?
Was that with Brock? Or was Gaich going with somebody else?
I don't know. There was too many.
Have to sort it out.
Couldn't keep track.
30.9 seconds remaining in this game. Colorado comes back to obviously win it tonight 12-6. Let's see if we can get these 30.9 seconds done. These two teams will meet each other at the Pepsi Center in Denver a week from tonight. And again, we'll have the broadcast for you beginning with the pregame show at 8:30. The face-off scheduled at 9 o'clock. Now don't get confused, but here's the other public service. Don't forget to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour tonight as daylight savings starts tomorrow.
Like, I'm excited about that.
Well, that means you guys can practice.
Well, no, we always
longer.
practicing. I mean, it's going to be like 59 degrees out tomorrow.
Nice.
Sunny Buffalo, New York. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's bring it on.
So we're going to finish this game still 5-on-5. Everything coincidental, apparently. A lot of fighting majors. Colorado just dumped the ball, let Buffalo have it. This game's just going to get run out. 23 seconds left.
Bandits bring it to center. See if they can find net there. Again, Lewis in for Colorado. Weiger in for Buffalo. 10 seconds left. Here's Stainhouse with the ball. Tried to feed it out to Carter Bender. This was been a problem all night long for Buffalo, connecting the passes.
Yeah,
and again, with seconds remaining, they still couldn't make the passes. And that's going to do it tonight. Wow. A shocker for Buffalo again. After opening the game with a 3-0 lead, a 6-4 lead in the goings of the third quarter, only to see Colorado mount the goal runs to win it tonight. It's a final 12-6. Colorado over Buffalo. Post-game show coming up after this timeout on Bandits Lacrosse.
Number 42, Rory Smith, 5 minutes for fighting. To Colorado, number 21, Chet Kuzneski, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty and gross misconduct. To number 15, Ilya Gaich, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. To number 66, Richard Morgan, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. To number 23, John Sullivan, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. To the Bandits, number 23, Steve Piello, 5 minutes for fighting. To the Bandits, number 3, Billy D. Smith, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. To the Bandits, number 98, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty, Jimmy Purvis. To the Bandits, number 13, David Brock, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. And then Bandits, number 37, Dick Cutter, 5 minutes for fighting an advanced penalty. Lots of intense play of the game from the Bandits. Is Smith, congratulations. Brought to you by Intense Milk. Intense play of the game is brought to you by Intense Milks. Proud supporter of the Buffalo Bandits. We get the favorite flavor of Intense Milk today. Also, thank everybody for being here. Good night, please. Drive home safely. That's right. That's what all people say.
Not a pretty sight for the Buffalo Bandits here at First Niagara Center in downtown Buffalo as the Colorado Mammoth mount their attack in the second half of play and defeat the Bandits by a final score of 12-6. We return to the third quarter where Buffalo opening up the play at 55 second mark. It's Dane Smith. And for the young rookie, his second of the night, 15th of the year. The assist going to Sean Williams and Nick Cotter. Buffalo takes a 6-4 lead at 3:43 of the third quarter. Nick Cotter. And that's all she wrote for the Buffalo Bandits. That at the 3:43 mark of the third quarter. Nick Cotter scoring his fourth of the year, and the assist going to Mark Stainhouse. And then Randy Mearns, Colorado mounts the attack. 8 unanswered goals. A game of runs, a perfect example, and they win it tonight by a final score of 12-6.
Yeah, that 8-goal run. You know, Buffalo was playing well, got up to that 6-4 lead, and then the next thing you know, they started to chip away. The next 4 goals for the Mammoth, 3 of them came from Jordan McBride, almost a natural hat trick. And then all of a sudden it's pressing, and then you get into the fourth quarter, and who's got more in the tank? And you know what? Ty Belanger in that fourth quarter, when Buffalo got something to the net, he was making some big saves, and it just seemed that the shots that weren't going in on Anthony Cosmo in that first half, because he was playing stellar, started finding those little seams, and then the next thing you know, it's a little bit too late. Buffalo's got to press a little bit more, opens up more space. Next thing you know, John Grant gets on the score sheet. Adam Jones scores a PP goal, and that's all she wrote. Colorado doubles up on Buffalo, 12-6.
Individual performances tonight goes over to Cameron Holding with a goal and 4 assists. He also had 11 loose balls. And for Jordan McBride with 3 goals and an assist. Adam Jones with 2 goals and 2 assists. Sean Pollock with 5 assists. And John Grant with a goal and 4 assists. Jamie Lincoln with 2 goals. And for their young goaltender, Ty Belanger, making 30 saves. For the Buffalo Bandits, it's Anthony Cosmo making 48 saves off 60 Colorado shots. And checking the scoring, as limited as it was tonight for Buffalo, Mark Stainhouse scoring, Nick Cotter, Jamie Rooney, Dane Smith with 2, and Jimmy Purvis with the other goal for Buffalo. Shots on goal finally, unofficially right now. It's 60-37 favoring Colorado. Mammoth go 1 for 4 on the power play. The Bandits go 0 for 5 in a losing effort tonight, 12-6. All right, so ill feelings at the end of the game. The fight started initially with Steve Priolo and Rory Smith, and then the remaining players out on the turf said, oh, what the heck, let's go. So everybody decided to throw the fists and have a big fight. And then after that was all cleaned off, there was 30 seconds left. The game is over, and Bob Hamley's crew decides to not go through the traditional handshake, and that creates a little disturbance over at the Colorado bench.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a ruckus there at the end, John. You know, typically, you know, it's the sport of warriors, you know, and you know, whether you win, whether you lose, you know, you typically, the players themselves still going to go through the handshake. You got respect for each other, and I didn't really see it. Then the next thing you know, you just kind of noticed that the teams weren't shaking hands. Colorado was going, you know, into their locker room. You know, they just had a Donnybrook 5-on-5 as that, hey, like, let's just get out of here. And some of the Bandits, along with some of the coaches for the Bandits, kind of took a little exception to that. And then the next thing you know, the refs had to get involved because I think the Buffalo Bandits say, you know what, we'll win like men, we'll lose like men. Hey, like, shake our hands. And, you know, and maybe the Mammoth, we're going another route going out. We just had a Donnybrook. Let's just get out of Buffalo alive, and it's good. We got the win. We're going to go back to Colorado. So that kind of created a little animosity Jesse, and that sets a great stage next week in Denver. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but I know you're going to call a phenomenal game, Johnny.
Well, these two teams, as Randy said, will get together at the Pepsi Center at 5,280 feet of the mile-high city of Denver. We'll have the pregame show beginning for you at 8:30 Eastern Time. The face-off will be at 9. Colorado snaps their losing streak. They're now 3-7 in the Wild West Division. Buffalo goes to 5-5, and they'll set the stage for next week in Denver against these Mammoth. It's a 12-6 final tonight. The Colorado Mammoth score 8 goals in the second half to defeat the Bandits again 12-6. Joe Hunault, our producer, Scott Fleetwood, our statistician. For Randy Mearns, this is John Gertler. Good night from Buffalo. Yep.
See ya.